here we go. What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 344. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Guadalupe,
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
yo, yo, yo,
Adam Vale,
A Free Sunday,
and Brian Majoma.
Man, these Adam stories.
Yeah. Don't fall asleep when you're on the Verrazano Bridge, man. Don't fall asleep.
do that shit.
Oh, my God, man. And that's a story we could probably tell on air, but maybe we'll tell it one day, you know? It's a story that's safe for family, you know?
Yeah, it's family friendly.
It's family friendly, and it's a good warning. Make sure you don't drive when you're fucking tired.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
And by the way, just to clarify, it wasn't Adam.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Adam, you know? Adam saved a life that night, though.
The other one was Adam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first story that we said was me.
Oh, I didn't set up the Chirons, man. How's everybody? I'm gonna do like you when you hosted Throwdown. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know, enjoying my weekend. I got a long sleep. I had a round 2 of Rona activation. This time one that wasn't. I didn't feel anything, but I did still feel the crunchiness.
Crunchy? What do you mean crunchiness?
I know, you know, like, okay, like your joint, at least from after getting it, like I get like, you know, like all your joints start to crack.
Interesting.
Doesn't happen normally. Like, you know, like my normal day, I'm fine. But like, yeah, like I feel like, you know, like you can even still hear it in my hands, like they kind of. Like,
yo, what the fuck are they injecting us, man?
No, I know what it is.
It's because
everybody handles it differently, just like anything. Like Tylenol works for me. I know people can't take it; it does nothing for them.
Oh yeah, Tylenol. That's my go-to. But like, yeah, for especially for like that, like at least the first time, when I got it, because I did have the Rona beforehand. So they said the commonly happens is that you get, you know, you start to feel, you know, sick or whatever because it's your body just going against it. Going right after it. So I didn't get super sick. I didn't get super sick the first time, you know, after, but I did feel like achy and stuff, like kind of like you're getting sick.
Yeah.
Second time I really didn't feel anything, but I still did get the little, like, I don't know what you call it. It's like all your joints just start to kind of crack, kind of like stiff joints. I want to say
all achy. Your joints. You like, yeah.
All my joints. All my joints start to crack. So yeah. That was it.
One interesting thing about by the way, apologies to anybody who don't want to hear about the Rona, but we got to fill up some time here. We didn't get a lot of questions. So Manny, you got your Rona shot before I got mine, and then you got your second one the day after I got my second one. So because like the Pfizer one is like a shorter amount of time, but with me, this is what happened with me. So I got mine on Thursday. Everything was cool. But at the end of the night, my fucking arm was hurting worse than the first time. The only thing that happened to me the first time was my arm hurt. That was literally the only symptom I had, right? And I slept very well that first night.
Do you ever get a flu shot?
Yeah, I had the only time I got a flu shot was the worst flu I ever had in my life. Never did that shit again, you know.
But when you got the shot, did it hurt? Because that's what.
No.
I always get the flu shot.
Because I used to get a bunch of shots when I was a kid. Never hurt. I'm like, why is the shot hurting? But I wake up on Friday at 8 a.m. I'm like, why am I up so early? All right. Went about my business. I'm like, I kind of feel a little funny today. Something's going on. Check my temperature. I'm like, oh, I got a fever. Ain't that about a bitch? Took some
That's what usually happens for people who didn't have the Rona the second time.
Yeah.
So they say the first time it's fine, and then the second time for people who don't have it, they start to feel whether it be a fevers or body aches, stuff like that.
But again, I wasn't sure because since I only slept 5 hours, I'm like, maybe I'm just sleepy. I don't know. So I took some Tylenol. Fever gone, right? And then this is how I knew I was like actually bad. The next day I slept 8 hours. I don't sleep 8 hours. I felt like a fucking king, and I slept again another 8 hours. I'm like, oh, I guess I was fucked up on Friday then. So I slept great 2 days. I felt fantastic. So I'm like, yo, I guess I got off easy. And the guy who gave me the shot, he said like, yeah, you probably never had the Rona before. This is the way you're reacting. So cool. You know,
see, so you didn't have it. That's why I figured.
Yeah, because the thing is like, because I thought I had it because. This was back when the Rona started. I was coughing for 2 months nonstop, and then I was losing mad weight without doing any exercise. I'm like, maybe I had the Rona, but apparently I didn't, But yeah, whatever.
Just got
Anyway,
sick.
by the way,
Just
I'm
got
just saying,
regular
keep it real.
colds.
I got this shot because I'm again. I never even got the fucking sickness yet. This shit was warning me. I literally got it just so I could have the fucking Rona card. That's the only reason I got the fucking shots, because I'm not gonna say too much, but there was a place I was supposed to go to that I found out I couldn't attend because you need that fucking vaccination card. I'm like, I see where things are going. Let me just get the shit out of the way. On the record, I did not want to get the vaccination because I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. But I'm like, since I have no choice, let me just get the shit out of the way.
Well, you got to think about it. You got to think about it like when you go into college. You got to get all your
Same shit.
shots and all that stuff. So that's the way. That's just the way I saw it. I got to go places. I got to do things. I mean, Comic-Con is coming up.
That's the other thing.
Comic-Con is
I figure
October.
like a minor inconvenience. That's all it was. Minor inconvenience is worth it. So fuck it.
But also, people seem to. Well, I guess they don't really travel. But when you travel outside of the country, there's some areas that require proof. Of
I don't.
certain
Well,
shots.
I don't even have a fucking passport at the moment. But you're right though.
It tells you. Yeah, they was like, oh, in order to go to certain other countries, China and other areas, they're like, you have to be cleared with certain things. You have to have your measles shot or polio, a few other things, or else they won't let you go.
You need a lot of shit.
It's always been there. That's why I'm surprised when people are like, how dare they try to. It's always been there, buddy. It's always been there. As long as, like you said, when we go to school, gotta do this, gotta have those checks. So my kids had to go. They had to make sure they had their shots, or else they couldn't go in.
By the way, again, sorry about bringing up the Rona, but it is a real thing, so we got to talk about it. Manny, question for you, because you did have it. You actually did have the Rona. Logically. Oh, David Giltonen. What's going on, David? He says, Manny, did you get nauseous and did you get the shits from COVID because one of his friends is worried that she may have it?
The biggest thing that I noticed is I had a lot of breathing issues. Like especially on my right lung over here, it was very sort of like tight, and I couldn't breathe, take in deep breaths without coughing a lot. And it got pretty bad toward the end of it. So it was really difficult to breathe. And I had headaches for days, pretty much the whole time. I just had 2 weeks of headaches. Even taking Tylenol and all that stuff didn't work.
I remember when we were doing the show, you didn't look good.
Yeah, I think I popped out like on one of the shows when I was starting to really feel it. I actually did pop out early on it, and I wasn't feeling very good. I was just sort of zombified. Yeah. But as far as any sort of like going to the bathroom or anything like that, I didn't really. Everything seemed normal, but my appetite was gone. Like I didn't eat anything really, so that's why I lost like 20 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
I just drinking soup and stuff, and I didn't feel hungry at all.
You had to force that shit, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to force it. I would drink, make sure I drank stuff, and no, I didn't feel thirsty or hungry. I just did it because I had to.
Yeah, maintenance. That sucks, but glad everybody's safe, man. Throwdown was still good. Bring you to shows. And I guess we're all vaccinated now, officially,
So, because I know a lot of events in New York are requiring, like the Barclay, Madison Square Garden. Is Comic-Con going to?
We don't know yet.
We don't know, but we know that they're having it.
They're having it.
I got the bill for it, so
that's the other reason. I'm like, listen, I just want to be ready for it just in case. So Comic-Con requires it. Manny and I are good to go. I
tell you one thing though, I'm gonna be wearing my mask the whole fucking show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because here's the thing, I'm gonna enact that for every single show. You know why? Because I swear to you, man, comic conventions, that is like the place where you get fucking sick.
Yeah, remember that was always the con flu.
Yeah,
the con flu.
Yeah, con flu. You know what's something interesting? I've never gotten con flu ever.
I've gotten it. I've gotten sick from after coming back from shows. It's just because you have so many people with their own versions of viruses floating around them. Then some people are not very clean.
I got sick playing Red Dead Redemption at a con. And I blame that game because that was the only game that I touched a controller when I was at the con. All the other ones I watched from a distance, took pictures of my phone. I'm like, all right, I'll find a demo online. But when I saw that the line was short for it, and I'm like, and I was with my wife at the time, we were just dating, and she was like, go ahead. And I was like, yeah,
I remember that year. Yeah,
and I touched it, and it was saucy, and I'm like, fuck, how many motherfuckers? I'm like, whatever. So I played. This was for the DLC. That was it. It was for the they were advertising that shit. The next fucking day, I felt sick, and I just had a fever and all the time. I'm like, I fucking that dirty controller.
Yep. I mean, that's stuff like
exactly.
that. People are dirty, but here's the thing: those guys are supposed to spray the controllers every single time.
They are just supposed to, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to probably actually enforce that now. Oh, by the way, David says, like, oh, me and Tony are hardy people. Yeah, I don't get sick. Sick is not something. It has to be something really fucking tough to get me. You know, I don't get sick.
Tony has never been, never been the sort of sickly type. No. You know, or he's never like the most you'll get out of Tony is maybe a cough every so often.
Yeah, that's about it. And there's been a few years straight where I'm like, I haven't had a cold this year. Like even during the Rona, no cold whatsoever. No, I just don't get sick. That's why, again, everybody's different. I'm just speaking for myself. That's why I wasn't even worried about the Rona. I'm like, that shit'll just pass through me. And that's probably why this vaccine didn't do nothing to me. Like one day, I still went out. I still did everything normal. I was just like, maybe I'm sick. Like I was still not sure about it. Yeah, because I still function. You know what I'm saying, Carlos? Like I just function as normal. My appetite was fine. I was like, maybe I'm sick. I don't know. I checked my job. Like, 99.6. That's not normal. Mine says 98.6, like everybody else. I'm like, I guess I am sick. Took some Tylenol. Literally an hour later, was back to normal. So
you're like for a while, you're just like, it feels like you want to get sick, but then nothing happens.
Oh no, it wasn't like that. I was just like like, am I sleepy or am I sick? I wasn't sure because I'm so used to being sleepy. I just kept doing my thing, But yeah, so yeah, your boy's hardy, man. Takes a lot to kill me. Crazy Kaiser, what's going on? Thank you for the subscribing, and we will answer your question tonight. Anyway, enough Rona talk. Let's get into some questions tonight. But we had to let it out there because this thing is still ongoing. And let you know that your Throwdown boys are just fine. We are good.
Yep, we're doing good, yo.
We're doing good. All right, man. First up, Mob Hits. A couple of things, Mob Hits. One of your questions, it was about what developers have made 10 out of 10 games. We've answered that before. Another one, apologies, we won't answer this one. Because the question is like, what controversial gaming opinions do you hold? We're not gonna do those. You're trying to get me fired, bro. Good, chill. Or Manny, kicked from gigs. No. Chill.
No, yeah, we don't want to talk about that one.
Yeah, so no controversial takes here. We like doing what we do. All right. So his first question is, would a Steam Deck VR headset make sense in the coming years? And what other peripherals would you like to see the Steam Deck get? All right, maybe I'm ignorant. How would you work? Oh shit, Brett.
What? He comes in at the VR question.
The perfect fucking timing. And I just finished asking a question. Then I had a follow-up question, but you may be able to answer my question. So this is perfect. I'll repeat the question again. What peripherals what would a Steam Deck VR make sense in the coming years, and what peripherals would you like to see for it? And I was going to ask how would a VR headset work with the Steam Deck? And I'm being on this question. I honestly can't even imagine that. Maybe I'm lacking imagination here.
No, I mean, I think the two fields don't really overlap. I agree that Steam has been putting out some good stuff, and the common denominator is that they really seem to be trying to make hardware that services users' needs instead of putting it in a fancy, shiny the user experience seems to be very important to them. So they're one of the people that make their controllers more solid than they need to be. They care about how they feel. So yeah, they make good hardware, but that's the real common denominator here. You don't really want to experience VR on the go. That's just fucking danger waiting to happen. Plus, the Steam Deck really doesn't have the power. I mean, you really need a lot of power to do VR, and the Steam Deck it's not going to offer that. It's going to offer a subpar VR experience, which is going to set the industry back years. I mean, we already kind of have everything got off to a rocky start. People have played VR. They'd be like, I've seen it. Yeah, but they really haven't. You saw the most rudimentary, basic beta version of VR, and I think that you've seen it. Everybody who's playing VR now it's fucking amazing. I don't know. I don't have a PC to keep up with it, and therein kind of lies the problem with a lot of people having that same deal with me. But yeah, no, I think to answer your first question, I don't think that you would see a VR Steam Deck, because a lot of the advantages of Steam Deck, including the touch buttons, portability, and all that, they're just kind of negated by the VR. But I imagine that they will come out with a new set of controllers. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Steam controller too, as well as custom Steam VR controllers. I'm pretty sure they already have one. I forget which. There's one of the big VRs is tied to Steam, isn't it? They made one.
Is it an Oculus?
No, not the Oculus. That's Facebook.
It's the other one with the sensors that you could put up on the walls.
Not the Oculus. What am I talking about? Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. I know what you're talking about, though, Brett.
Yeah, it's the other one.
The Index?
No.
Brian
Oh my god, it's the one I literally said is the best VR system out there. I'm forgetting the name of it. Oh my god.
A buddy of mine has a just
the
new house and is setting it up.
I've never even heard of the Index.
No, who's the manufacturer of that one? Who manufactures it?
Valve.
No, it's another one.
No, I would trust Brian. So like,
no,
I
you can say
on
that.
the
I'm
Steam
saying
store.
that the one that I'm thinking of is not the one made by Valve. It's another one.
Oh, you're thinking of the HTC Vive.
There we go. There we go. There we
None of us
go.
can think of it.
Yeah, there it
And
is.
He loves it.
Yeah, HTC Vive is awesome. By the
the
way,
the Index has controllers, right? Brian?
Yes.
See, okay, they're already releasing shit. Steam just releases shit. They've released really quality products that actually are honestly revolutionary, in my opinion, with no fanfare, just so quietly. They're just like, oh yeah, we got this really cool thing. I mean, Steam Deck is the first time that people just notice when they just kind of like, dropped out like, oh yeah, we're coming out with a portable PC, and people are like, wait, you what? But yeah, they've the haptic response on those controllers, if you've used them, it's fucking amazing. It's a game changer. It's something we need to bring into the main fold of controllers. I'm convinced that's part of the next generation of them.
And here's the funny thing, just to link with all that, is that they said with the Steam Deck, it's going to have that haptic feedback that we're all familiar with now on the PS5 on these triggers. That's going to be very interesting to see how that works.
Yeah.
all right. Does anybody disagree with Brett? Because I don't. I'm like, yeah, I think VR for this doesn't make sense. So I want to get to the more interesting part of the question. What peripherals / add-ons, whatever, do you want to see for this? Because I've been thinking about it, like what would be cool for this? You know, Switch has a bunch of add-ons and shit. What kind of add-ons do you want to see for this?
Piece in a helmet. My Call of Duty experience.
Your helmet.
I can still do it. We can put the helmet. I could put the chest piece that all connects through Bluetooth.
Here we
and
go.
have sensors, so that way when I'm playing my division and I get shot in the back by some jabroni, I can feel it from the left or the right side. And then I'm like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, I mean, they make those, Adam. They exist. They're not made by Valve.
You don't want to share links, and I get it. That's fine, but you could at least tell me where I can get these things. Okay, I'll find them myself.
I'm outside. I'll find it for you. I'll find it
Let's
for you.
not get distracted here.
That shit's expensive.
Oh, it is. They don't got a layaway plan. But when I do get it, I'm telling you, when I do get it, I'll wear it all the time on the show, and we could probably do a throw down click button thing, and then maybe it'll vibrate. It'll be one of those.
Whoa!
Yeah. Who said that? Black. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name here? Black Viet, that's a cool name. He says he wants a controller for it, like a Nintendo Pro controller. Yes, because my only thing about this thing, like the B button, that shit is way off to the side. You know,
use the Steam controller. Just pair that up.
To be honest, I mean, to make a specific controller for it really defeats the purpose, because you can use any controller on it.
Yeah, that is true.
From a
That's
PlayStation to an Xbox, whatever you feel comfortable.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Controller. They have their own.
And they have their own.
Yeah, they
controller.
You're right. We don't really need a controller.
Index has a controller.
Yeah,
they have it.
Yeah.
It's like wand things that you put in each hand. You don't want a one-piece controller. Like, I get why you want that as a gamer, but as soon as you break into a VR space, you just feel like, why would?
Oh no, we're not talking about VR. We're not talking about VR anymore. We left the VR stuff.
Peripherals for the Steam Deck.
Yeah, Brett. We all agree the VR for this doesn't make any fucking sense. So let's just talk about peripherals we do want. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We don't need a controller. You can literally use any controller you want, so that doesn't matter then. Damn, I guess a stand maybe.
I would take just a more realistic approach. I would take another. Remember, 8-Bit Dude did the fight stick. It was a little portable version.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like a. Again, you could attach any stick to this too.
No, you could. But I'm just saying that it was small because I could fit it in a bag. I'm just saying if I'm taking it on the go, just have it on a kickstand, which I don't know if the Steam Deck has a kickstand. I don't remember seeing a kickstand on it. So if
damn it.
I don't remember seeing that.
I just had an epiphany. But Brett, you go first.
Dude, this question is rigged.
Uh-oh.
The Steam Deck is a mini PC. Literally any PC that the PC peripheral that exists is already on the market for this.
That's what I said.
Yeah. No, so they exist already.
I'm just thinking about stuff you can put in your bag on the go.
Yeah, no, but that probably exists too.
Here's the 8-Bit Do one. The 8-Bit Do.
Yeah, bring that shit with you. You know,
I mean,
but they don't make it anymore. That's the problem.
To be honest, it's like, a lot of the peripherals that you could ever want already exist or probably are going to be made. But the thing about it is that they're not necessarily going to be made by Steam.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it'll be third parties, obviously. Yeah,
it's going to be third party.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's like everything you kind of want is already out there. So no need for Valve to make anything else. It's already there.
Valve,
you know.
I mean, I'm ready for Valve to make some. I want to see invest more in the VR space. If you ask this question about VR, there's definitely stuff that I want to see. But yeah, Steam Deck. The beauty of the fucking thing is it's literally everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't they already have a VR headset already?
Valve?
No, they do.
Yeah, they do.
VR. We were saying that they have a headset and controllers. I want to see them make a treadmill for that shit. That's the only thing you're fucking missing.
Yeah, but Brad, you pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. Like that's the beauty of this thing. It works with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What peripherals will it have? It already has them. And it's all of them.
All of them. Which one's all of them?
I just wanted to work. That's it. I don't believe the whole thing that we sent out or you sent out.
Believe, Adam. Believe.
Dude, Jeff saying that every game is going to work. I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, to be fair, they said every game they've tested so far.
Exactly.
Works.
There you go. See, there you go. That makes
so
more
far,
sense as opposed to your entire Steam one. There's no way.
No, they didn't say that. They didn't say that. You know.
Well, that's how people are taking it.
Yeah, they're fucking idiots. Go ahead, Brett.
I think they did say their whole library.
No, they're probably it's a lot of the library that people give a shit about. It's those porn games. I don't think they're testing those games that on there.
You know what I do hope? I do hope because
Brian.
all I do hope is that from looking from the Protons and then seeing some of these Microsoft key games, some of them work and half-ass work. Hopefully, Uncle Phil says, you know what, this could work in our favor. We already have a lot of our main games up there. Make those shits compatible to work. Make Gears 5 compatible to work. You know, make the new Forza Horizon. The old one says it works in gold. That's great. But make sure the new one, because we don't know. That had a question mark. I think that'll be great. Just a lot of those games. If you're going to go all in, don't half-ass it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Barry Burton says Barry Burton wants to know if Life of Black Tiger will work.
Yeah, right. Brian, go ahead, bro.
To answer your question, Adam, there is no kickstand.
There is no kickstand, right?
No. I've been looking at the whole thing, like as it spins around, and there's nothing on the back.
Yeah, you know.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, I saw some people in the chat were like, "Oh, yeah, this would be great. Put tabletop." I'm like, wait, unless you get your own stand for it, because I'm pretty sure there's no kickstand on it.
Oh my god! Do you guys realize that? So technically, since there are Steam controllers out there, this thing works with any controller. It has its own controller, and it works with both of the competitors' controllers.
Yes,
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Technically, all three of the competitors' controllers.
Oh, see, yeah.
You know,
it not only uses its controller, it uses everybody else's.
Everybody's, exactly.
And the other, the funny thing is that some games actually take into account the controller that you might be using. So the new Streets of Rage game, you can switch the button prompts to the console that you want it to. So in other words, you can make it a PlayStation, you can make it Xbox, or you can make it into Switch.
Crazy.
Yep.
Dude, the real question here is PC just going to stomp and invade into gamer territory? I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be exposed to all of a sudden be like, yeah, well, what controller do I use for it? Literally anyone. Yeah, but like, I mean, which ones can I use? Literally anything that's ever been made. I don't know. Yeah, but which one goes to it? Anything goes to it.
Well, right
they're
now,
not used to PC rules.
Well, right now it's just going to be people in the know, like this. Like we've talked about it. It's all about people that know about Steam, know about this device, and when it does, let's say a year or two, and it's in Best Buy, those questions you just brought, that's going to come up. Because we're like, all right, if I pick this device up, what do I need for this? Like, you have an Xbox at home, PS, but yeah, use those controllers. That's all you need. You're good to go.
Yeah,
so, I'm curious to see if it ever gets to that point. That would be interesting. When PC dominates, everybody will have a PC.
Dude, I really think the second hand of this thing, like, yeah, you're right. Everybody that got in the know got it, but the geniuses, they kept their pre-orders open, so everybody that heard about it secondhand from somebody who is in the know,
that's gonna happen. Yeah,
no, it's already happened. Like my sister got one. She's getting it Q3 because she was late to the party, but I had enough time to be like, hey, I got this thing, it's really cool, you should get it. I know you like playing Sims, you can play Sims fucking anywhere. And she has Crips, so that a lot of times
does she have Steam? If not, you can get it.
She does.
All right, for $4, you can gift her a game, and that's the other thing that's so cool with it. Because of the Steam system, you can gift games to people.
Dude, right?
Right there. Yeah, you're on the go. You're playing. Just, I wish I could have that game. You see, it's only like $4 or $5. Boom, you got it now. What?
Dude, perfect example. So, like, my sister has an autoimmune disease. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but a lot of times it flares up, meaning that she just generally feels like she's been hit by a bus and can't really do a whole lot. Sometimes she can't even get out of bed. So, with the the Steam Deck, she doesn't have to. She loves playing The Sims, so now she can play The Sims and any little PC games. She doesn't even have to get out of bed, or if she does, she can plug into the TV, or she can plug it and use it as a PC, throw some controllers on it, and play video games with her husband. Like, it's a really good answer for her gaming needs. And she got in the know from somebody that told her about it, and now she ordered one. I think there's going to be a lot of those people. And I think a lot of them are going to be, console users. There's going to be a huge market of console users on this that I just don't think are going to be used to the PC rules. And I really, really enjoy, or I'm going to really, really enjoy seeing all of it happen if it does.
That's what I hope.
Brian will too. Brian's just going to be sitting back there and be like folding his arms, like, "Yep, I know."
Shoot, think about it. Let's say if this kicks off 3 years down the road. Could this be the replacement to consoles? Microsoft makes one, and PlayStation makes one. They make their own device that can get docked, and it's small like that. I'm like, yeah, this is where we're going, because it's worked for Nintendo, it's working for Steam now, and it got the PC. This is how we got to go.
I mean, it is a great answer to the current market, because the current market's being dominated by obviously Sony, and Sony is very buttoned up. It is a very closed system. This is a very dangerous thing for Sony in particular, I think. I think Microsoft may be able to just hitch a ride with their Game Pass and be like, we're a service now, but PlayStation, I don't know, man. I think if this kicks off, I'm not going to be like, this is the death of consoles. I don't really, it ain't going to be like that, but is it going to be a contender, and is it going to wound consoles? Oh dude, yeah, this is going to be a fucking crazy party.
I don't know why I keep thinking more and more that because they said that we're going to have apps on this as well as the games. There's going to be apps. We saw the emulators. They said we're going to YouTube all that stuff. Man, I have a feeling we're going to see Game Pass on there. Just the fact that
that's going to happen.
Right in the launch,
that's going to happen.
Right at launch, they advertised you can do Windows on it and the whole thing. Why do that? Why even bring that up? So I'm like, oh, there's going to be a damn widget. I'm telling you, a little widget. Sign in.
Dude, they'd be dumb not to. I mean, they're sitting there, they're wanting to be a game service, right? And then there's somebody out here basically producing hardware that's compatible with their games, so basically producing the hardware for them almost. Yeah, man, they'd be an idiot not to fucking jump on this. And then if you actually have Microsoft kind of like lean into this, you have the synergy of Steam and Microsoft, and that right there is like how you build a Voltron, man. Like, nobody's touching Sony unless you start linking up like that, and then who the fuck knows it. That could be the one thing that could touch Sony as a company, because honestly, they're fucking untouchable. They've been in an ivory tower for years. We all know this. As much as I bitch, like, they've got a firm hold on the industry, man. They win. That could be the thing. That could be the thing that threatens them.
Guess we'll see. All right, move on. Next question here. This one is from Crazy Kaiser, who subscribed to us. Thank you, sir. Interesting question. This is a pertinent one too. since we're talking about Psychonauts 2 right now. Will Psychonauts 2 be able to pull the year's platformer crown away from Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart? Honestly, I've never played the first one, but it seems like the first impressions are pretty high. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It was just another platformer. It didn't really change the game for me. So
no, I don't think. As much as I like Psychonauts, it's nowhere on the level of the Ratchet games ever.
Yeah,
but it is a nice little game.
It's its own thing. It's its own story.
It's got fun script, as Tim Schafer games do have, and has cool characters. But I don't see that game is not going to tilt anything in the direction of anywhere. I think it's going to come out, people are going to enjoy it, and it's just going to disappear. That's about it.
I agree. Yeah, because here's the thing: Psychonauts 2, it's just coming off the back of the previous game, which was like 16 years ago or something.
The game was 16.
So I don't know the exact year, but it was a long time ago. But then you have Ratchet and Clank, which is coming off of probably around the same amount of time, but a lot more games. So it has refined its mechanics to perfection, right? Psychonauts 2, it's still not really tested as much. So I agree with that. And then the longevity of the fan base and shit. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good game. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But yeah, compared to like Ratchet and Clank that has just honed that their specific mechanics down, it's not going to compete at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to topple anything. I just think it's going to. Again, I'm sure it's going to be a fine game.
Yeah,
because they had plenty of time to work on it and get it right. They didn't have but at the same time, I don't think Psychonauts has the fan base or any of the other things that Ratchet and Clank has.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need to delve too much deeper into this one. That's pretty.
Pretty
and
simple. Also you can play Psychonauts right now if you have a the PS3. PS4, because it's one of the PS2 classics.
Oh, okay.
So you can play that. You can actually play that for pretty cheap, and it's got trophies.
Isn't it still on Game Pass too?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. It's one of the games that's on Game Pass. So
remember, Microsoft owns Double Fine now.
They can play that. You can play that for free. So there you go. Wait, but is Brutal Legend on there?
I don't know. We should check.
I would think so. I think all of those games should be on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because I know that Activision or THQ owned the rights to it. I remember when it got canceled.
That's right. Yeah, I guess we'll have to find out. But yeah, all right. It ain't topping nothing. All right, moving on. Next question. Chakzilla. All right. What does this holiday season look like? Usually there are many big games right before the holidays, but more games keep getting delayed into next year. I know Xbox has Halo and Forza. Hopefully Sony has Horizon Forbidden West, but if not, what will the holiday lineup look like for first-party Sony and Nintendo? When might we get any updates? Yeah, this holiday season. Oh, go ahead.
It's simple. It's going to look like last year, where everybody's still trying to get a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, because that's still an issue. We've gone pretty much this whole year.
Well, he's asking specifically about games, not about.
But that's what I'm saying. We're not even getting to that point. I think that's.
But we are. There's still going to be games on PS4 and Xbox.
Yeah, but we see so many of them being pushed back, and I feel that they're doing it because they see that the install base just isn't there. So I
disagree.
Put more tie on that.
Right. I think they're delaying it because of the Rona, dude.
I don't believe that.
Because think about it, all these games are cross-gen anyway, so it doesn't matter if they're on PS5 or not. I think we're seeing the effects of the Rona. I think that's exactly what it is. And the Cyberpunk effect. Nobody wants to put out a shitty game.
I agree with Adam.
So yeah, but the thing is, Brett, there's no next-gen games coming out. They're all cross-gen. I'll let you go, but the availability of the new consoles means nothing because these games aren't exclusive for these consoles anyway. Understand?
Yeah, but the install base.
There are none.
For either one, that's the point. Why rush to push something out on something that's still on a product that still hasn't really reached its full potential when it comes to sales?
But they're cross-gen games. It doesn't matter.
But it's the same all over. That's the thing, cross-gen or not. it's just, if you want to put your best foot forward with a new game, and it's like, oh, I want it on the new Xbox, I want a PS5, and then you see all these issues, and you talk to your main developer manager or your publisher and say, hey, listen, we could use a little more time on this now, and look, the install base really isn't there yet. So what do you want to do? Well, just like we saw with Hollywood and how they wanted to handle things. So I think that they're using this to their advantage, and that's why they're all being delayed, because it's not really helping on our end, because if they all come out at the same time, let's say just like usually when we get the fall and we get all the big games, the sport games and Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, it's such bundled up to the point that, and now they're all competing for that, whatever your wallet, whatever you can spend in that small window. This is what's going to happen to them. It's just cramming them all together. So it's going to be a mess, but I think people are still going to be just hounding for the hardware side still, and not so much on the software side. We're just going to get more of what we have, remasters.
Yeah, but again, I'm not understand. Maybe you could enlighten me, Brett, because I'm like, okay, the games are not exclusive to next-gen hardware.
I know,
what
dude,
does,
if I can actually talk, I'll let you get my...
No, I'm trying to ask the question so you could answer me properly. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, ask the proper question.
Yeah, the question is, why does the sale of new hardware matter if games are coming out on old gen systems, the same exact games? There are absolutely no first party next gen games coming out this holiday at all.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the point. Why would you push to get a product out if there's not a market to sell it to? Yes, some of them, not all of them, some of them are going to be cross-gen games. But even then, you're forgetting... You need to think about how some of this sounds in the boardroom. You're using, like, basic, real analytical knowledge. But if you're in the fucking boardroom talking about when you're going to release this game, and you have two options on the table, one of them is hold it back, don't get into a cyberpunk kind of thing, really fucking polish the game, and then release it to fanfare with on the new system, creating a whole lot of publicity, or you release the game and then release an update for it later. That's not going to work so much unless there is enough time gap between now and then that you can sell them an updated version. But there's a huge gulf there in the middle where it just kind of like, it gets released here, and then in 5 months it gets a PlayStation 5 update. Woohoo, nobody cares, nobody's talking about it. I can tell you which one the suits are going to choose.
I disagree with that, because these updates get big fanfare. People are like, oh, I get a reason to replay the game again, or shit like that. But, you know?
But with Halo, with Cyberpunk, with the fear that you're even talking about, like, of everybody putting out a bad game, why not give your game a little bit of extra time until the install base is there? That doesn't sound like a crazy idea. Like, yes, the way you put it does sound logical, but that is also logical. Like, why not just give this game a little bit more time to bake until, you know, until we get an install base and we make sure that this thing is not going to have a cyberpunk situation. There's not really a drawback on that other than the continual money of development cost, but I don't think they're really worrying about that with Sony first-party games. They generally go all out on that stuff.
I think my sticking point, I'm sorry, Brett, my sticking point is just the install base. The install base is already there.
Dude, not on the PS5. And
no, not on PS5, but the game is still coming out on PS4 and Xbox.
What
you know?
What game are you talking about?
Every game. There are no first-party exclusive games on either console. Okay. Every game is cross-gen.
You still got to put work into the next gen. It's not just like, oh, we'll just make this one and it'll port over. No, there's still work to be done. Hell, we were talking about a game last week that had like 3 different pay scales, and we couldn't figure out if you had to pay $20 with a bonus for the DLC, $10 on top of it. It's just all messed up with that system now.
But Tony, we're also talking about a hypothetical game. How do you know it's not a PS5 exclusive?
Because they said so. Because they said so. Listen, Ratchet Clank is the last PS5 exclusive. Every major game that's announced, Horizon, God of War, they're all cross-gen.
Yeah, well, you're talking about announcing an unknown fucking game, aren't you? Or you're talking about why aren't they pushing the development on these things forward? And if that's the question, is because they're not fucking done. And again, they're not going to rush them for an install base that's not there. Yes, it is on PS4 as well, but there are a lot of PS5s.
All right, I think I'm done, because I'm like, the install base is already fucking there. The PS4, every game is cross-gen.
Part of it is. Okay, let's be perfectly analytical. Part of the install base is there.
95% of the install base is there.
So you would be okay if a game came out and says, "Hey, listen, we're just doing the PS4 version. Eventually, down the road, we'll make the PS5 because
they've already been doing that. They've already been doing. They're already doing that.
And people are pissed.
No, they're not. They still buy the fucking game afterwards, and they're hyped when the update comes out. You know.
You say, "All right, so we'll see."
Look at Ghost of Tsushima. Look at the hype that shit's getting. You know,
a game that just came out. Let's say if Grand Theft Auto 6, if they said, "Hey, we got this ready. It's coming out, but just for PS4." You're gonna tell me that people that do have a PS5 or do have the Xbox Series X are not gonna be pissed that they're not gonna see?
They'll be pissed, and then they'll still buy it when it comes out, just like last time.
But that's later on. That's still the drag.
But they're still gonna get the majority of sales on the consoles that are out. And again, I'm saying this as a guy who doesn't like these cross-gen fucking games. The install base is already there. You know.
We have seen them move game dates for much less. We have seen them move games 6 months out just because they don't want to be near another game release. They're not losing anything by waiting. You act like there's this huge imminent clock where they have to do this fucking thing. Why would they release it on PS5? Why would they wait to release it on PS5 when you could release it on PS4? Because it'll still sell all those fucking copies on PS4 if you sell it in 2 months. Plus, you'll get bonus copies on the PS5. You want to talk pure analytics? Pure analytics says you're going to do better if you wait.
You're going to sell those PS5 copies anyway.
You're going to sell those PS4 copies anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So why the fuck does it matter when you release?
Well, actually, it does matter. That does matter when you do release because there's a lot more things in motion, whether it's manufacturing, there's all kinds of other things when have already been signed that are already in motion that has to happen. A delay isn't just like, hey, look, let's just put the brakes on this.
Yeah,
no,
well,
it doesn't really happen that way because delays often cost companies money.
But they're already delayed. We're already at that point. Why not just let them bake longer? They've already shut down all that stuff. They've got nothing in production. They've got nothing on the line. They just kind of wait.
Again, I just disagree with the notion that they're waiting because there's not an install base. Yes, there is an install base. It's already there. That's all I'm saying.
You're thinking of it wrong. You're thinking of it like, why would I do... You're thinking of it like, why would I release this...
Yeah, okay, it's not that we're saying that the game is done and it's sitting there like what we saw in Hollywood with these movies, and we're like, oh, well, we'll wait till we get it by theaters. No, we're saying that if they're working on it, like, yeah, well, it's not completely ready, but we already had planned that if we push it out, we'll just do the patch system. We'll just have day one patch and next month patch. We're going to do that whole thing. It's never finished, right? We always talk about it's never finished on the disc anymore. It's always building on it. So what we're saying is that now that with all the stuff going on and with this, the install base not really being there, and then also you could say with the Corona
install base is fucking there. Jesus Christ, how many times do I have to repeat this shit?
We saw because you're talking past tense. Yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One. We're talking about for the other end. If that was the case, then we wouldn't see all these markups for these consoles. People can just go and pay a normal price for a console, but that's not the case. So what we're saying is that they're just bringing this up to their attention. Say, hey, listen, we're going to spend X amount of money to make the next gen version, right? Because it's not like, oh, we just downgrade and we spit it out. No, it's another part of the process. And they're saying, well, how about this? We'll just push it back a little longer, get all the bugs out, spend all that time. Hopefully by the time that it is officially done and we're not spitting it out with 5 or 6 fucking patches, the install base for the next gen stuff will be there and will be on par with both of them. Because either way, it's a win-lose on both ends. If you spit it out on a PS4, Xbox One, and you don't have it on the next gen, people will bitch. And then they'll bitch that they have to wait. They're like, oh, why do I have to wait? Now I got to play it on my old shit. I don't even have my old shit connected. Now I got to connect it. Yes.
You're making a big assumption that that's the case. The reason,
I did my own thing. I never said it was gold. I said this is the way I see it. I don't understand.
Hold on, Tony. Tony, what I was trying to say was you're looking at it like we would hold this back because there's a lack of an install base. That's not what I'm proposing. And I'm pretty sure that's not what I was proposing.
No.
What I'm saying is while they're working on God of War around the office, they're kind of like we're not really in crunch time. There's not a huge rush. There's a supply shortage of the PS5 anyway. So we're not really in a huge rush to get this thing out. We're not trying to push this thing out super fast so we can get it done by Christmas because there's not really a reason to. So we're just not under the crunch. They're not holding it back in some back room, with fucking Sith cloaks on and a long table. Like, we're going to wait until PS5 has more out. They're more in development saying like, we're not really pushing things. We're not really crunching things because there's not really a need to right now. It's about incentive. They don't have the incentive to be fast. It's not that they have the incentive to be slow. It's that they don't have the incentive to be fast. Does that make any sense?
It would. Chris, I'll let you go next. It would if the PS4 wasn't on the market. Then that would make sense. But the PS4 is there. That means the market is already there. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that, and also, there's always an incentive to be fast because you're competing with 2 other publishers. Like, I don't understand this. They have no incentive, and they're
Show me
sitting
when
around.
Sony's been fast.
Well, it's not a matter of fast. You have to have product to compete with the other guy's product. Otherwise, you're going to lose your install base. Remember, people only have a finite amount of money to spend on a certain product. If I can't get my product out before, let's say Carlos was Microsoft, right? And he gets his game out by holiday, and I don't. I'm just pushing it to spring. Whatever. I'm not in a hurry.
What Tony was saying.
Well,
then you said you agree with him, but you're going against with that because he's saying they're going to spend their money regardless. They'll go and buy it again.
But here's the problem is that you have to. We're talking about 2 different things, Adam. That's a time versus space problem. You need to have your product out in a reasonable amount of time. Otherwise, you're going to lose your install base to another manufacturer who can get a product out faster. If Microsoft is going to have better stuff, so if Carlos and me were like I represent Sony and Carlos is Microsoft, and Carlos has stuff out for holiday and beyond, and I don't, and I'm just sitting around like, well, I'm not in a hurry. I'm just going to take my time and polish this stuff. Well, guess what? Now I lose my install base. People gave their money to Carlos, and I go, well, I'm comfortable over here, and Carlos is giving me what I need, so I don't really need to spend money on Chris's product anymore. And I start losing.
They're not losing it because then we've always talked about it. We
would rather they
spend more time developing than just rushing games out. We've always talked about that.
No, that's not the point. That we made that argument when if you are rushing a product when it's not ready. This is not
who's
about
saying these things are ready. Obviously, they're not if they're pushing them.
I think the answer is that we don't know. To add to Tony and Chris, because I'm on their side on this. Delaying a game, lackadaisic, is that how do you say that word?
Lackadaisically.
Lackadaisically, like adding more time frame to a video game. It's costing that developer money. A developer and a publisher is like, okay, so we have over 200-300 people, full time working on God of War, and it's like, let's extend it for 6 months. It's like, that's an extra, added to the balance sheet, and they're gonna have to pay for all that. They can't just say, oh well, the install base, it's or like this. Okay. Let's just take our time.
That's not what we're saying.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying that they're looking at those books and they're saying, is there a need to pay them time and a half in overtime right now? Not really. Because that's just going to be crunch time that we don't necessarily have to go through. It's
going to come back to bite them in the ass when it comes out, and it's got all these fucking issues. And then what happens? Everyone's going to tell them, well, they rushed this game out. This shit's got all these problems. Why didn't they just wait and fix this shit? Well, now they got the time to do it.
I don't think anyone's disagreeing with you guys.
It's not incentive to wait. It's just no incentive to hurry. We're not saying they're holding games back. We're saying that they're not going into crunch time. Because, when they otherwise might be, because the PlayStation's not there. If we had gotten PlayStation 5 out to fucking everybody, they might be paying for the extra crunch time to get it out by, holiday.
But Tony already made the point that there's 120 plus million PS4s in the market. How do you ignore that?
That's the only thing I take issue with in this statement. That's like the PlayStation install base. There's 120 million fucking PS4s out there. The install base is definitely there.
Yeah, and if you see how many people that actually traded those in to get a PS5 or put their money, it's not all there. People already moved on. You said it yourself. You moved on.
Adam, you can't make that argument at the same time and say there are no PS5s. So what did they trade in for?
Yeah, exactly.
They trade in for an IOU?
Yeah, what did they trade in for?
They put their money on the side.
Okay, you're just assuming right
Everybody
now.
in this panel is waiting for
this whole thing is assuming. Everything we're saying is assuming.
I'm assuming that there's 120 million PlayStation 4s on the market. I'm assuming that.
We're assuming
how many PS5s are there, Tony?
Like 5 million. I don't know how many you fucking sold.
No, there's over 10 million sold.
All right, yeah, but there's still a lot more PlayStation 4s. My point is, the only thing I agree with like 99% of what you guys are saying. I just disagree that there is no install base. There is a fucking install base on PlayStation. It's there, 120 million.
No. Okay, you're taking that very literally.
Yes, of course I am. How else am I going to take it?
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is Tony talking. You don't don't mean that there's not an install base. There is an install base. There's just a larger install base if you include the PS5. That's how we should have said it.
Okay, fine, but that's like by what, 5%? You know?
Yeah, but again, you're looking at a negative result and no need to rush. Like again, you're like, okay, so if we rush and get this game out by holiday season, we won't sell it on, we'll get 10 million less copies. That's not a huge deal when you're selling 70 million, but it is something. And again, it's not enough to delay a game, but it's also not really incentive to try and rush a game. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying they're delaying. I'm saying if we'd seen PlayStation out in droves, I would expect to see them crunching for a holiday game.
All right. All I'm saying is the install base there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, obviously they're the largest. They own the biggest market portion.
Yeah.
If the game is not ready, then they'll obviously delay it and make sure it's ready. That's what we think that they're trying to do because of the whole Cyberpunk. I agree with that point. But the fact that they're like, that dynamic that is introduced with the install base, that's where I have to disagree completely, because these motherfuckers will try to fucking nickel and dime you any second they can, and they sure as hell will do it with the PS4s out. And it's like, okay, there's over 100 million PS4s, there's over 10 million PS5s. We can make a shit ton just by selling the PS4 version, and then we'll have a patch later, and it's like, hey, let's charge $30 for a director's cut in a year from now.
Yeah, exactly. We thought that that's Ghost of Tsushima. Look at the weird pricing that game has.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's a mess.
And people are still hyped.
As a room full of gamers, are you guys honestly advocating that you're not more hyped for a PS5 release than you are a PS4? Like, that's not just better for the brand. It isn't exactly what you've been asking for as a Sony fan. And if you just got another fucking PS4 release with a Ghost of Tsushima thing, you'd feel a little bit like a bitch. Like
we've been talking about that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Maybe they're going for that big PS5 reveal.
They have it. The track record says it hasn't, because they've done it. They released Astro's Playroom. They released Miles Morales. They're going to do it with Horizon. They're going to do it with God of War. They're going to do it with the Gran Turismo, I think, is the other one that is going to be cross-gen. Yeah. They've been doing it. And these are games that are going to come out not this year, next year, and possibly the year after that. So they're already, like you're saying, they're already bitching us into this. So it doesn't matter what we want. They're like you say, they're in their ivory tower, holding their cat, saying,
and I
can't, Blofeld, man.
So remember, our excitement is outnumbered by the PS4 owners.
Exactly.
Like,
no. I need to understand what just happened. Carlos, I see what you did there. Are you saying that you're the cynic and I'm the optimist in this argument? Did that actually just happen?
I've never been optimistic about Sony. I know who they are.
Dude, I thought I was the cynic.
Brett, you're probably the most positive guy on this fucking show, man. Come on, now.
I'm expecting them to try, so I guess so.
Yeah.
Brett, you like PSVR, man, and that's I don't. So I think that alone is like, yeah, I've never been with Sony that much.
Yeah. By the way, I love the fact that we never actually answered the actual question.
All right, I wanted to try to answer the question before this.
Yeah, let's actually try to answer the question. What first-party games can we expect from Nintendo and PlayStation?
All right, and I said this right. Nintendo is banking on Pokemon again. They're remade Diamond and Pearl, right? That's going to be their holiday game. I don't think they're going to have Zelda ready. I guarantee they're going to launch Zelda in March. That's what they're going to shoot for. Zelda's not going to be a holiday game. It's going to be Pokemon.
I agree.
That's what they're going to bank on.
And the Smash character.
Shit, for PlayStation, I got no idea.
Listen, Horizon's supposed to be coming out. I don't believe that, to be honest.
I don't think so either. So I got no idea. I got no idea what they got for holiday. I don't think it's Horizon either. I don't think so.
It's Ghost of Tsushima. No, for real.
Listen,
the
don't
Super
joke.
Director's cut.
Don't joke, because I might be
the CEO's cut. The Jim Ryan cut.
the Jim. Oh God, no.
When is that Death Stranding remaster?
That's coming.
Come out?
That's actually coming really soon.
But yeah, if you guys in the chat want to let us know what PlayStation and Nintendo games are coming out first party.
First party, yeah.
Yeah.
And Xbox, Xbox obviously.
Shit,
and
right?
the other part of the question was when can we expect an announcement? Hopefully soon. Who knows?
announcement from
officially.
nowhere.
Officially, Sony hasn't really announced anything.
Yeah, that is true.
Their state of plays are just about things that we already know was coming.
By the way, whatever happened to that PlayStation conference that was supposed to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe they're planning to set that on the same day they show the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, which is also overdue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Brett's right. They're like, we don't have to rush. Forget it.
We don't got no PlayStation. We don't got no PlayStation 5s out there.
We'll do it later.
No rush.
Shout out to it. I like this name, Xavier Spirit. A hidden gem. We don't. There's no hidden gems anymore, man. Everything gets leaked now. You know.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Hidden gems
behind that shit. Yeah.
You know. The only way a hidden gem exists is a game that you already know about and you play like, oh, this is actually better than I thought. But every game gets announced. Every game gets leaked. There are no hidden gems anymore. Those don't exist.
I guess unless it's just something they just announced that they plan on working on. There is no work on it. There's not a team that somebody can post on Twitter, look what I'm working on his LinkedIn account or whatever. Yeah. Like with the Skate 4, we all wanted one, at least the people in it. It wasn't until the guy came out and said, all right, we agree, we're working on it. That's it. We're working on it. So
yeah.
It did no date or anything, but
that's like 2024.
Whenever 2030, 2030, 40, 2050, we'll be in space by the time that shit comes out. We'll have ships and go to see aliens.
Yo, I can't skateboard on Mars. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. The low gravity is gonna be some ill fucking.
Tony Hawk will be the first guy out there. Like, what I did, I got Basil money too. And like, oh shit.
Oh wait, I got there's something. Brett will be excited for, right? Dying Light 2.
There you go.
It's gonna be a holiday game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Dying Light's coming out to
Is
Switch.
that finally coming out?
I think so.
I think
God,
in December.
I always get.
December.
Yeah,
that's the tentative Techland date. They said December 7th.
All right,
oh my
we'll
God.
see.
You guys ready for Ninja Batman again? We doing this?
If it comes out, we will. Yes.
I'm never looking over my shoulder again. I'm just running.
You know you're gonna press that button.
No, because I'm going to piss myself because I'm not going to make it. I have to believe I'm going to make it. If I look over my shoulder, I'm not going to make it.
It's like looking down,
on you.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, but you know you're going to press it. Like, they are just fucking devious for putting that button there. You should never push it, but you know you're going to. It's like a big red button. You're like, just for a second, because I'm pretty sure, nope, I am not clear. They are right the fuck there.
No, we have to make a pact. You can't do that till you're able to craft the illest rocket-powered samurai sword so that you can defend yourself. Other than that, if you got like a billy club, no, you just keep running. You keep running until you get to UV lights.
I guarantee you, in our group, somebody will be yelling, "I looked behind me! I did it! I looked behind me! I shouldn't have."
No, that's it, man. It's over.
It's over. All right, so we got no answers for you because we don't know what the fuck's coming. All right, moving on.
Because Dying Light, the original one,
that's not first party though.
No.
I'm just saying it was excited for it.
The only thing I can think of that's coming. That's a big deal.
Unless you're excited about GTA 5.
Carlos, there is a first party coming this year though. At least not first party, but it's exclusive. Shin Megami Tensei, bro. But we're not talking about that. That's not first party, but it's exclusive.
It's not. Yeah, it's not first.
That's a cross-gen game too. That's a PS2.
PS2.
Switch.
Oh man. Oh man, where the trolls at? All right, man. Moving on here. Oh, who is this? Eurocar. Asking us these questions, man.
Yo, man, he's been popping up a lot as of late.
All right, this first question I'm not going to include as an official one, but it's a funny one nonetheless. Adam, how do you feel about Steam Deck today at this moment? Because your feelings change on this thing.
My feelings do change on it. Every time as you see, I'm always posting something. I post that whole micro SD test from a current version of a Steam Deck, a portable PC, and AAA games running on it. And it's just like the beginning load times, because that was my issue. I'm just trying to figure that out and to figure the whole collection of my games. Are they all going to be on there? What's really going to support? Then we saw the Proton system, and we see the scores of the games, and then we got a dev saying everything's going to fucking work, or at least what we tested. Well, how many did you test? Don't worry about it. It's like, well, fuck, man. So I'm still up on it. I'm excited mainly because of the whole emulation part of it. Knowing that RetroArch and Redream and all the big emulator companies that are, or groups, I should say, that are making all those wonderful devices, applications, and so I could play on my ROMs, and knowing that that's all going to work on it that's a selling point right there. So even if all my AAA games all run like shit for some reason because I gotta wait for a special patch, at least I know I could play my No Mercy and my N64 on there and or my my other games on my emulator. So right now it's all right. I'm excited, but we're so far off, man. We got like almost a full year.
Yeah, we got a long time, bro.
Like that's the thing. Even when it's like the first quarter, people, what is that? Like, is that definitely going to happen? When is it coming? Because they said some people were going to get it December, and I don't know anyone that found out they were going to get theirs.
No,
in
quarter
December.
4, 2021. I don't know anybody like that.
You see,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's quarter 1, 2022, and that's, remember, quarter means January to March. So
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We got time.
Got time. All right. Oh, by the way, quick shout out to Paul Perez in the chat. Manny and I were both on his podcast in recent months. Really cool dude. Really cool podcast. Go check him out. All right. Next question for Mr. Eurocars. Very interesting question. All right. If and this doesn't count, guys. Me, who work in the gaming industry, got to play games for work. All right. If you stopped playing video games, would it leave a void in you? Could you easily fill that void with something else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously
Brian?
the question would be, yeah, Brian, what about you?
I'm thinking about it.
Uh-oh.
I think so. Yeah.
What about you, Carlos?
I think I'm the easiest one. Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, to keep this question going, what hobby do you think could fill that void? Adam, I'll go down the line. Adam, what hobby would fill that void?
It's simple. It's watching TV and movies and reading, those type of things. The things that people do when they don't play games. I know a lot of people that had to give up gaming mainly because they have too many kids, and then their significant other is not into the whole thing and won't let them spend money on it. So they're like, yeah, I'm done with that. But I'll watch TV. I'll watch all those shows. We could talk about that. But games, that's a thing in the past. It happens. Shit happens. Yep. Life goes on. So, yeah, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, Manny?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Whatever it'll be, be drawing and be probably, collecting figures,
There you go.
stuff like that. I got plenty of things. It's pretty much all the shit that I used to probably do when I was, before there was any sort of internet or video games.
Yeah.
We did come from an era that there wasn't that wasn't at the forefront of entertainment.
Yeah.
But video games have always been around even when we were kids, though,
Yes, but either we couldn't afford them.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
We weren't in the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mr. Polanco. So
Yeah.
I was like, granted, I did get my first video game console, but that was a hand-me-down from Adam.
Yeah. No, but you're right though, because there were those times because we were always playing games, but they would be like, you probably get 2 games a year, so you weren't playing.
You get a game, you get one at your birthday, you get one at your
Christmas
for Christmas, and then your parents would say, you better play those games. You better keep playing those games because you're not going to get another one.
Oh God, that was everybody.
What happened, Brett?
I said, "Oh God, that was everyone." I
Yes.
thought it was just me.
No, that's everybody.
Oh yeah,
you know?
that's me too, man.
And if you don't play those games, you get your ass beat because they paid $60-$70 for them.
I got lucky because my dad, my dad worked in an electronic wholesale store, and they had the games there. So
the only thing about his dad's store is that they overpriced everything.
Oh yeah, they overpriced it. But here's the thing: this is the games that I would get. Is that if they bought too many of a game and it didn't sell, then they would like, all right, well, you can take this one. We'll give you like half the price. So he would come home with certain games. Like I had Elevator Action. I remember one day he just showed up with this. I remember playing this in the arcade. I was like, yo, you got it. He's like, yeah, no one buys this. I was like, okay. He said, maybe that's why, because it's still in the arcade and people rather play it there. And I remember loving that Commando. Remember games that were big in arcade, and I guess whatever. But rental stores is what saved it. Think about it. Everybody, we could rent games $2.
Blockbuster, hell yeah, man.
Before Blockbuster, mom and pops and stuff were doing that shit.
There was at least for me, there was a mom and pop store across the street from the old Main Street Cinema. you know, on Main Street.
Oh, really?
Queens.
There was a rental store around there?
Yeah, there was
Nice.
a place that was called Video Van. That was where I used to rent stuff at.
Nice.
That was before Blockbuster. And then there was
Yeah.
Sunrise Video on 71st and Continental.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I used to rent.
Good stuff. All right, Carlos, what hobby would replace gaming for you?
I think it'll
Decent
be
loose women.
well. Other than that, I think a couple of things, but mainly the most important one would be reading, because that's something that I definitely don't do enough of, especially these days.
reading.
But we gotta edit this part out in case a parent is listening and is like, "See, I knew it. The video game."
Oh yeah.
See, we got a guy saying he stopped reading because of this shit.
No, Carlos, you read though. You play JRPGs, man.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. I do that. I do that, and I read mangas. Yeah, like reading novels, obviously, like because those, you know, reading for me, and I don't know, Tony's the only like big reader that I know. Reading for me, it takes a lot of effort. I have to be super concentrated in reading in order to do it. I can't just casually read. Like, I see people who fucking, honestly, I think these people are on some fucking drugs, and it's a lot of people. The people that can read on an airplane, I'm like, how the hell can you muster so much concentration into something while you're on a fucking flying tin?
You just read, man.
Whoa, hold on, whoa, we got to back up now. This is very interesting to me. To me, being on a plane is the perfect place to read because you're not doing anything but just sitting on your ass. You know?
When you read, the world disappears.
Yeah, and hey, Brett, I know you can feel me on this. The best part about reading on a plane, it makes that fucking flight go by quick, you know?
Dude, right?
I read half of the first Expanse book on my way to LA. I'm like, yo, this is fantastic. And I read the other half on my way back, you know?
For me, like the surrounding noise, like the ambient noise of an airplane, the fact that it moves, the fact that I have to hold a book into my face,
interesting.
like, all of those like make me lose concentration.
Put on headphones. Well, don't listen to anything. Just put the noise cancellation headphones on and then read. Like maybe that'll help.
The only thing that I ever considered was getting an audiobook along with the novel.
I've done that. Go, close your eyes.
Yeah, I could do that, or I could still read it, but just with sort of a guide, so I won't be listening to the plane all the time. And you're sitting next to people, like, I don't know, when I read, I like to be super comfortable. I'm really precise about how I read. Like,
yeah, apparently, I'm like, yo, I could read on a fucking bus on my phone. Like, it don't matter, you know. Like, as soon as I read, the world is gone, you know.
No, I can't. I can't. I have to like really concentrate in order to, because like every time you read, you go into a world that you're concentrating on its surroundings, on what it has, on everything, the characters and stuff. So like whenever I do that, I have to be super concentrated because I'm doing most of the work. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just how much concentration you have, because I do the same thing. It's just the act of reading pushes everything away, you know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it does for me. By the way, that's my answer, too. Like, here's the thing, because I'm doing that right now. I'm not playing any games right now, so I'm just reading more. I'm reading Dune right now. That book is fucking dope. Carlos, I suggested to you, it's like Game of Thrones, believe it or not. I'm like, this gives me that feel, because they just throw shit at you. There is no hand-holding. It's just like, here you go. House this, house that, blah, 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 blah.
There's a lot of books.
You know? But, yeah, no. So, reading would be the one. And here's the thing. This is going to sound very weird. To me, reading is an interactive experience. You know, because you have to imagine all this shit. It's an active experience. It's not like watching television where your brain just zones the fuck out. Like you're not paying attention. It's like you have to actively pay attention to make these worlds come to life. So I think books would be a good replacement for games because it's another interactive activity. You're
the kid from Neverending Story. Remember, he gets locked in the book, and then he closes his eyes and he sees everything.
That's it.
Atreyu.
Atreyu.
Yeah, man, I'm that kid. I am that kid.
Actually, okay, so can I want
to it's your turn anyway, bro. You're good.
Well, on the subject that you're talking about, I've actually been on both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
So when I lost Rachel, grief does weird shit to your brain, and apparently it's very common to have difficulty reading. See, before that, I was reading like the fucking big Robert Jordan novels like The Wheel of Time.
Yeah, man.
R.A. Salvatore, Ellie Modesett, like any giant fantasy novel I could get my hands on, I read. I actually got kicked out of reading lab because I hit 99th percentile. That's a weird humble brag, not meant to be, but it is. And then it's important in a second. So after I lost Rachel, I all of a sudden didn't read the same. Before, when I had read, it was like Tony. Like the words would fade away. I'd kind of go into this automated act of actually reading the words and just get lost in the world and the picture that kind of plays in the inside of your head. After I lost Rachel and the reading got weird, I was very aware of the words on the page, and I had to sit and concentrate in order to be able to kind of build that up. So I've been on both sides, and I think it's just the way that the brain works sometimes. It's not an ability, it's just how you process information, and weirdly enough, it can change. So the disagreement between you two is just because, Tony, you're that first type of reader. And not that. I think that's the big difference. I think that's why some people love reading and other people just kind of don't. And because I've noticed all the people that don't read, they're just very aware of the words on the page.
Yeah. No, I understand that. By the way, we're not disagreeing. We're just two different sides of the same coin,
Oh no, I know you're not disagreeing. Yeah. I just thought that was interesting.
There's some.
But here's the thing, just real quick, Brett. I'm sorry, Adam. Brett, I was that when I was younger. It was like these are just a bunch of words on the page. But obviously, as I got older, I just got more proficient. It's like there are no words. You are just like any good movie, any good game, any good whatever. It just pulls me in, and I'm in there. I just wish I saw colors better because everything's the color of the page. That's the only problem I have. I just have to go, it's blue. Okay, I just have to imagine it's blue.
Or when they don't tell you Alan Grant has a beard and then he grows the beard.
Well, that was because I'm imagining the fucking the movie version,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel you, Brett. Anyway, Brett, what about you? If you didn't have gaming, what would you fill that void with?
I'd just be more productive.
Yeah.
We gotta edit that out too.
We're making a bad case for games
in his life. Nope.
Yeah, no. Here you go. I edit this part out. Like, I don't know, I'd be productive and I'd have more friends.
Oh, antisocial. Gotta edit that. Yo, this whole shit gotta get pulled down.
Yeah. No, I'd do art and tabletop for the most part. Tony knows how I love the D&D stuff, and I'd probably just get more into that. Fuck, I might play Warhammer. There's a huge amount of tabletop games out of there.
You get obsessed with those figgies.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have video games, fuck it. Like, play Warhammer, paint your figures, go on Saturday, have a big fucking tournament.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of see it. Now that I'm thinking more about it, I'm like, okay, so I would just do what I normally do during summers when there's no games out, and just for the rest of my life, basically, because there are stretches where I just don't play games because there's nothing out. Like right now, I'm don't get me wrong, I'm playing some little games here and there because of work, but I'm not playing for pleasure. I'm like, I want to play a game tonight. I'm like, there's nothing out,
Yeah, well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there's a basic need that goes on there. Like I'm a firm believer of you have to put creativity in to get creativity out. And so then it becomes like, okay, so what medium do you do it? I do it in video games a lot because honestly, I feel like it rots your brain a lot less than TV because you have to be active in it and you have to have critical skills and it kind of exercise that critical thinking. Adam, you can use that for the short.
I mean, it like reading, it does take a lot of effort to conceptualize everything because you're essentially doing everything. You're just
That's why
reading.
You be right at the library because of that. They wanted people to just focus.
Yeah, so it's like like when you're watching a movie, it's all being told to you. It's being colored. It's being written. It's being spoken. When Tony, like the funny thing with Tony is like
I'm looking at my fucking books over here, my collection and shit. Look at all these, man. Look at all this shit I got to read. It's a lot. Anyway, Carlos, what were you saying? Yeah. Oh, by the way, Brett, that was my other answer. Like I'll play more D&D with Brett. Yeah, let's go get Colby in there.
Let's do this.
All right. Anyway, Carlos, go ahead, bro. I cut you off.
Like, like for me, like getting to read takes a lot of I usually like to do it with like no distractions because that's another thing I can lately I've been easily distracted by a lot of things. Like get a text message here or it's like, oh, what's going on with shout out to Brian, what's going on with my crypto, man? and stuff like that. It's like just everything. You like get a phone call, work. It all just it all gets distracting. So it's not as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, no, there's definitely way more distractions now. Chris.
Well, Carlos, you live alone, right?
Yes.
You see, so imagine when the time comes, if it ever doesn't, you get married, have kids and stuff. All that shit is gonna wipe. If you're losing focus now on just this, all the things are just gonna.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a wreck. There's no
it's like oh, it's coming.
Like I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Like I'm not even gonna be able to like play games. I'm like shit.
It's over, man. All right, Chris. What about you, man? What would fill that void?
Yeah, just reading. I mean, I have plenty of stuff I wanted to read, and I have comics, I have manga I wanted to read, I have novels. Yeah, I mean, there's such plenty of stuff like that alone, and just shows I've never watched because like I play video games a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have a kid and stuff. Like it's easier for me to put something on the TV. I can't really get into a game not until she's like asleep, and then by that time I got other shit to do. So, yeah, I mean, if video games were out of the picture, I would read more. I'd probably indulge my hobbies more. I'd probably try to write. I've been reading stuff on writing, like I was reading the Save the Cat book, and that got me thinking about
I got that
some
one
stuff.
too. Yeah.
I was looking at this economist book about thinking fast and slow. He's the guy who did the Moneyball. If you ever seen that? It's that guy. This is his book. Yeah. So I mean, and that's useful for kind of understanding the psychology of some of that stuff, how people think when they look at certain things. So that's also interesting. And I probably draw more.
Hey, there you go.
Drawing pictures. Pretty.
I got a whole bunch of artists in this in this room.
Yeah, but that's there's just plenty to do. So it's like, you just I would probably save a whole bunch of money.
Edit this whole question out. Edit this whole
question
out. Everything that we're talking about is bad. Gaming is just horrible. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
The hobby.
You got it.
Gaming.
You got to
had 5 books out and a movie deal. And
here's the greater revelation. Everything is a waste of time. It's just about choosing which waste of time you want to do the most.
Yeah, I'm thankful that me playing games makes me money. You know what I'm saying?
All you have. I mean, you completing a game. Yes, you have the accomplishment of playing a game, but at the same, and it does keep you occupied. But at the same time, it's a waste of time. So is everything else.
Everything else is, if you think about it. But it depends on how you want to spend. Because again, there's some people out there be like, oh, you're playing games all the time, you're wasting your time. Then they go binge watch something for 5 hours. I'm like, yo, you just wasted your time too.
You wasted your time.
Come on, fuck out of here.
I had a buddy who would say that type of stuff, but he was a big football guy, and all weekend, all he watched was football games. Like, he wouldn't go, like, yo, we're going to go out for a drink. No, there's another game going on. John's playing. Like, that's a waste. You're wasting your whole day watching just football. All these fucking games. Everybody has their own vice.
Everybody has it, yeah.
That's just the way
You spent 5 hours playing a video game. Sure, that's a waste of time, and then goes on fishing and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Brian, what you got, man?
That was a deep cost.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm mostly the same as you guys. Without the kids, obviously. So manga, anime, films, a lot more.
You know who it is.
The manga guy.
Do you plan to reproduce one day? Is that something you think about?
Yeah, we getting deep right. Whoa. What is this? What's going on? Slow down.
I said it with Carlos. He said Carlos said that is.
Yeah, Carlos gave that up willingly, though, man. Fuck, don't be asking this motherfucker.
I'm not asking his blood type. I'm just asking a general question. Is that something he thinks about?
It sounds like you're his dad or his mom. Like, hey,
when you gonna have kids? When you gonna break? When you gonna give me some grandchildren?
I didn't ask that. I just said that's something he thinks about doing.
Adam's like, when am I gonna push Brian's kids in the cart?
Go rush your ass, man. This ain't your kids.
Brian's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna have kids. I'm gonna name them the same as your kids.
That's gonna be horrible.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
I'll take it off here. That family member called me. Will text me today. So.
You got some stories.
Yeah. That's for the Patreon special.
You know? All right, let's move on. Jesus. Oh, what the fuck are we up to right now, man? I don't even know anymore. I don't know what's happening in life, man.
We're talking about hockey.
Yeah, right.
Waste of time.
Tumeke. Let's get to Tumeke, man. Let's go to Tumeke, man. All right. Question. Oh, by the way, Tumeke, you asked us a question about what game had the most impact on us, but we've answered that before, so we'll refer to that episode. All right. So his question is there a game that brought you back to a genre you thought you were done with, or maybe a game that introduced you to a genre that you never thought you'd enjoy? I haven't really enjoyed JRPG since the PS1 days, but Final Fantasy VII Remake has got me back, and now I'm ready to tackle Persona. Interesting. So
that's an interesting. I like this question. That's an interesting leap because Final Fantasy VII Remake is not officially a classic JRPG.
But he never said classic JRPG. He said JRPG.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, that's not like it's a Japanese RPG, but it's not a. You know, it's It's not a JR. It's what JRPGs are currently, but it's
it's an action RPG. You know,
it's an action RPG. To be honest, I see that as a bit of a different genre.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't. You know,
but the reason why I can see him getting back into RPGs from it's because of it's sort of a light or has lighter RPG elements that don't involve the turn-based part of it, which is the issue a lot of people have with RPGs in general, with turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
So it has all the parts that the other RPGs have, where it's like you got to look at which weapons and which armors that you can wear. You make your character more powerful, but you don't need to wait to you don't need to strategically wait for each turn.
Yeah. Oh, he said you made him hate JRPGs again.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, because Persona is not an action RPG. It's a full-on turn-based one.
Yeah.
So but I could say that those action RPGs are very good for a sort of not a hardcore. It's a lighter tinge on the side of like RPGs in general. It's like. Okay, you press a button and you hit. If I were to present this version of Final Fantasy VII to old Tony, who hated
before Final Fantasy VII originally
originally came out, before that one, I think he would have been more inclined to want to play that than he would have wanted to play the
because of those graphics.
Because of the graphics and the fact that you didn't need to wait, and that was Tony's biggest issue with turn-based.
Yeah. Oh, but the thing is, the funny thing is, what got me over that was the graphics of Final Fantasy VII. I was like, I've never seen anything like. I'm talking about the original one. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. I got to play this shit. I guess that's my answer. Like, because I never cared for JRPGs. Like, you gotta wait. What the fuck is this shit? And but then when I saw Manny playing Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is like Resident Evil 7, but on another level.
But it's funny because you did eventually find your way into RPGs, but not playing Final Fantasy games. You were playing them on the Sega Saturn.
Yeah. Yeah, because what happened was I saw you playing Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, man, I got to get into this. And then the only game that I saw at the time that was called oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of the fucking game. Anyway, so this is gonna bug me. What the fuck was the name of it? Arc. I think it was Arc something. Shining the Holy Arc. She was shining the Holy Arc. So I got this game. I think I borrowed it from Mike. Believe it, I don't know how the fuck he got his hands on that because he never played RPGs. So I'm playing this game. No, it wasn't Mike. It was Evil Chris. So and this is so weird. This is what made it click for me. So I'm playing this game. I'm getting my ass dusted. Right. I'm like, man, this is fucking brutal. But I kept doing it over and over again. I'm like, the more I fight these little guys, the stronger I get. Okay, let me just keep fighting these little guys over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, these little guys are cheap now. Let me move on to the next area. And then I go into town, and I go into a shop. I'm like, I could buy weapons and armor, and it's better than the shit I got? And I could sell the stuff I already been picking up from the monster I've been killing? And I'm like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And then it clicked. and I beat that game too. You know, here's the thing about Shining the Holy Ark. It's a very classic JRPG in the sense of like, remember how JRPGs like you would see your characters moving on the screen, but then as soon as you get to like an enemy, it would just be the enemies, and that's it. You have a menu and stuff like the first Dragon Quest game, just like that. But yeah, that's when it clicked on me. I'm like, wait, I could grind, get levels, and equip shit and get better. This is cool. I like this. But yeah, that's what did it for me. But other than that, I think that is the only genre I'm like, I don't like the genre, but I like it. Because generally speaking, if I don't like a genre, I'm not going to like it. You know, it's like roguelikes, I'm like, I gave those a shot, though. Gave those a shot. And
I
not
mean,
for me.
you know, as modern first-person shooters came along, you became more accepting of those sort of games.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. But because I was forced into it. Every game was a first-person shooting game. You know, so I had no choice but to acclimate. But I'm still not into like the military first-person shooters. I'm like, because it's real. This is boring. Like Destiny is more for me because it's aliens. You know, like Call of Duty. I respect Call of Duty. It's cool. Mechanics are great, but it's like it's real shit. This is boring. Where's the fucking aliens? Where's some monster rising up out of the ground or something?
That was Infinite. That was the one no one liked.
But it was Destiny was the one that got me really into or at least learn how to play FPS games perfectly, because I'm playing against other people. I have to get good or die, you know. But I did it for bad. I remember when I played BioShock, the first one, I was like, oh, I don't know how to play this shit. You know, it was weird because I couldn't get over, like, I got to use 2 sticks to move the character. Like when I played Halo, the first Halo, 2001, I'm like, 2 sticks to move the character? This is stupid. I'm not playing these games ever again. And I didn't for 10 years. I was like, nope, I'm not playing these games. This is stupid. You know, I shouldn't have to use this is for the camera. It's not for the character. You know, that's just the way I rolled. What about you, Adam? Were there any genres that you didn't like that you actually got into eventually?
I don't really know. I mean, I guess I have only 2 games, and I bring it up, and it applies here. Like the Rockstar Table Tennis. I never really played table tennis in real life. That wasn't a thing for me. And I just wanted to play whatever games were out because the 360 was fairly new and there wasn't much. And I'm surprised that I got hooked playing a damn tennis game. And I love that game. So, yeah, there's a genre, playing ping pong, table tennis games. And I don't know any, you know, that was a thing. I never played anything. And actually, the Division with the RPG elements. I was hyped for the Division because I loved Ghost Recon and all that stuff. And when they showed all the heavy RPG element stuff that we're going to have in the background with the stats and this and boosting and stacking this and perks, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to deal with that. That's not going to be my thing. And it totally became my thing. And I loved it. And so now if I see that element added in a game, I'm just like, oh no, fuck that. I was like, oh no, I'll go in on this. I'm familiar with it. So
look at Yakuza, man. Look at you in Yakuza now. You're like a dragon, Yakuza, you know?
Yeah, like a dragon. That's what I'm saying. If I didn't, I think if it was for the Division, I probably wouldn't have paid any mind to that. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna. No. I'll stick to the regular street, you know, arcade style Yakuza fighting, punching bitches in the face, and just quick level ups. You know, but yeah. So that's it. The RPG element outside of JRPGs into military shooters and playing a fucking table tennis game.
Cool, Manny. What about you?
What got me back into a genre that I hadn't played before? Yeah.
Oh, you can answer both of the questions. Like, what got you back into a genre that you didn't like before, and what got you into a genre that you didn't think you would like?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had very many. I mean, there's quite a bit of genres that I don't like, but I still sort of don't like them. Yeah. Like I still don't really care for first-person shooter type games.
A lot of people don't. They get dizzy. People get dizzy.
It has nothing to do with the dizziness. I just feel like it's sort of boring. It's like, okay, you know, we're just a floating gun.
Yeah, that's my main issue. You're just a gun, you know,
blowing everybody out. There's no other, you know, maybe there might be some platforming, but I just don't really care for it much. You know, but I do, you know, that doesn't mean I haven't played first-person games. You know, like, you know, what was it? I did play BioShock Infinite. And I did play Portal 2. Yeah, played Portal 2. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really moved away from too many, you know, too many genres that I just like. I don't want to play those anymore. I mean, I could maybe say that for turn-based RPGs or most of those RPGs in general, because I haven't actually played a turn-based game since 2008. I want to say. Yeah, 2008 was the last big turn-based RPG that I played.
Rogue.
Was Rogue Galaxy or
Yeah.
Dragon Quest VIII. The Dragon Quest VIII actually finished, but yeah, I haven't actually played them because I just as my life had gotten more busy, more work and sort of stuff, I couldn't really invest the old amount of time that I could into one of those games. So it's funny saying that because I play games like Near Automata, or Near Replicant, which are essentially action RPGs, which have storylines that last about as long. But I feel like I don't know why the perception is different.
Even though it's kind of the same,
they're kind of the same.
All right, Carlos.
Heroes of the Storm.
Is MOBAs for you then?
Yeah, I played before Heroes of the Storm came out. I played Psychonauts for like 400 hours, and then I just stopped. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm done with MOBAs until Heroes of the Storm came in. I think it became like my second most played game ever. So yeah, I would say that Heroes of the Storm.
All right, Brett.
And screw Blizzard, man.
Yeah, babe. Anyway, go ahead, Brett.
What was the question again?
The question was, what game got you back into a genre that you used to play, and what game got you into a genre you didn't think you would like? So it's a two-part kind of question.
I can't remember actually necessarily dropping out of a genre and then going back. Best I could tell you was went through a brief time where I was just not enjoying video games, and Breath of the Wild kind of brought me back. That was a great game. It invented everything, if you guys didn't know.
It did. It really did.
Game that got me into a genre that I don't normally play. I'm not usually huge into racing games, but Burnout really, really got me.
Yeah, Burnout was good.
That game was amazing. Those games.
EA, man, fucking it up.
All right. What are they doing now? What's the name of that game they showed last week?
Grid.
Grid.
Shut the fuck out of
Nobody
here,
wants
man.
that shit, Right, Brian, what you got, man?
I don't think I have an answer because I don't really. Well, I kind of stay within the same genres, so I don't really venture out. So yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Good answer.
Yeah, guess it's an answer. All right, Brian. I mean, not Brian. Chris.
So, when I was young, I used to play like the arcade type racing games a lot. I got dropped off, so I had like back in NES, I had Rad Racer, and I used to play Outrun. As a matter of fact, that was one of my favorite games in the arcade. I would always try to find Outrun, right, and play that. I played Daytona USA, Cruising USA, all that stuff.
Daytona.
Yeah, I used to love.
was a shit, man.
Yeah, and then I kind of just fell off. Like, I mean, I played some of the like Need for Speed games. Like, I remember I had the original one. I used to have it on PC. And then I kind of fell off driving games in general, except for like GTA. But those aren't like the arcade racing. Like I played Gran Turismo, but the Gran Turismo like took it to a whole other place. Like, it wasn't arcade and fun time anymore. It's like I gotta actually think about this shit. And then I didn't get back into it until I played Horizon Chase Turbo. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like,
I love it. I still play it.
It's Top Gear. It's literally the spiritual successor of Top Gear. And I mean, that's another game I love. Top Gear is great. And I was like, holy shit. It just took me back to that. It was just like all the best things I loved about Rad Racer and Outrun and Top Gear all mashed into one game. It was so good. So, yeah.
Nice. All right, good stuff there. So, let's move on here. What do we have? Oh, okay. I skipped this one. Ooh, this one's going to be potentially controversial.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Controversial.
Logic wins. Do you intentionally avoid games made by certain publishers, developers, specifically for moral or philosophical reasons? If so, which ones and for what reasons?
Philosophicals or moral reasons?
I think you know what he's talking about. kind of alluding to here. Activision.
Activision. Well, to be honest, I haven't actually bought any Activision games in years.
So you're already boycotting them.
Same thing with EA. I haven't really bought. Oh yeah, I'm boycotting because they don't make the fucking games I want to play. You know, I mean, I have never had like. Here's the thing, like when you think about the world that we live in, a lot of the things that we create that we enjoy are made by people that are suffering.
Yep.
And also, Walt Disney was a prick. And
I mean, well, that's debatable. That is debatable because there's some people that have actually worked with him that said he wasn't quite a good
I know,
person.
but his own daughter said he was a prick.
But at the same time, yeah, you have different representation. Again, there is a story about Walt Disney about how he wanted to be that Uncle Walt character, but he really wasn't because he saw the own flaws in himself. But again, nothing that exists right now is not made without some sort of suffering. Our cell phones that we hold in our hands, where are they made? They're made in China by underpaid people. People who use
consoles, everything, man.
Consoles are all made by the same company. People at one point who were getting paid so little who would commit suicide
Foxconn.
just so that they could get the insurance payments for their families to support their families. That's how fucking bad it is. So I'm gonna say this: everything is made through suffering, and just because what's happening, I mean, you could not support them. You could tell all your other people to support them, but who are you gonna tell? Are you gonna tell the meathead gamers to stop supporting them? Are they not gonna do it?
There's other people that are innocent that work there. Then that means they lose their job, and then there's other people. Everybody gets impacted.
But then, if you do that sort of situation where you say, "Okay, I'm going to boycott this company," what about all the actual good people that are actually doing their job and doing the things that they're supposed to be doing?
Now
what about that? What about the actual? It's a double-edged sword. So I mean, for me, I've never really just because of something happening at a studio. Because they, nowadays everybody wants to talk about crunches. Oh, lo and behold, everybody's fucking working hard. You know what? If I like the game, I'm still gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I'm gonna say this. It's not related to the question, but it's related to what you said about Activision. I'm gonna say this because there's been a couple. People are gonna call me an asshole for this, but it's the truth. You've seen a couple of websites saying, "Oh, we're not going to cover Activision now because of this, that, or the other thing." So you're really not going to cover the company that makes Call of Duty and Overwatch and World of Warcraft. Let's see how long that lasts. That grandstanding. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm going to say, I think the funky thing about it is that yes, if something needs to happen, something needs to happen within that company. But at the same time, boycotting doesn't officially sort of help the situation or change the situation. It's something that has to be done within the courts. That's what causes the change, right?
Yeah. And to answer the question, no, I don't care. Like, I just play the games. I do not give a shit what happens behind the scenes. Doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Now, let's say a game developer makes a controversial statement. Would you not buy a game because of that?
I don't get offended by stuff, man. If the game's good, what do I care?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'm a full believer in separate the art from the artist, or in this case, separate the art from the evil corporation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. For me, it's like, okay, yeah. If they're making something I enjoy, then sure, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
But the thing is, again, it involves, if something is happening that's negative, that's behind the scenes, that's something that has to happen between the employees and the employers.
Yeah.
And taking that to court, and that's the thing, or something has to change internally. Like, me boycotting everything that's made by Foxconn is not going to help the conditions at fucking Foxconn.
Yeah. And it's not going to help you either, since all the shit you need to work, to live is from Foxconn,
Exactly.
So
every single major electronic that exists in this era is made by Foxconn and made in China.
Yeah.
So, how about that one? How about that? The fact that every single thing that we own is made in China, this controversial country that literally mistreats its people. How about that one?
Yeah, we're not talking about that, are we? Right? Think about it. All our electronics come from fucking China, and we know the egregious shit they've been up to.
You're missing it, though.
You know?
It's because we're supposed to be better. That's the whole thing. These people are like,
if we're better, then why do we manufacture shit here? You know,
we're supposed to be the best. We are the gold standard. So that's why Activision will have to get their game up, because we can't fall to those levels. That's what people keep saying. That's why they were like, boycott them. That's
we've been off the gold standard since the 70s.
We've never been on a gold standard. We've never had a gold standard.
No, we got off of it in the 70s, like Carlos said. Yeah, we were on it. Anyway, go ahead, Carlos.
Look at 1950s. Come on now.
Yeah.
We were never there.
I don't play Bandai Namco anime games because I philosophically think they can't make a good one.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Damn, that's my answer too. Then.
No, there was that game that we just played is Bandai Namco.
Is it an anime game?
Is it an anime game?
No.
See, we're talking about anime games specifically.
Oh, anime. Because Bandai Namco, they release games.
Yeah, they do release games, but they don't always release good games. They release cash grabs like those Naruto games or the fucking Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah.
That people continue to play despite the quality of those fucking titles.
You know, I kind of blame. Oh, goodness, because I like Bandai Namco as a company, right? You know, I like them as a company, but
overall they're fine.
I kind of have to blame them for my like Pavlovian reaction to any anime game I see now. As soon as I see anime graphics, which I like, by the way, but as soon as I see those graphics, I'm like, fuck this shit. Because I'm expecting a bad game automatically, you know.
Well, you're like, it's based on an anime. Oh, it's gonna be
but I'm talking about even if it has anime graphics, it's not based on an anime. If it has anime graphics, I'm like, I have that like Pavlov's dog. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Well, were you gonna boycott Guilty Gear games?
Yeah, no, not that. Guilty Gear, they get a pass because its Arc System works. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you see a JRPG with those kind of graphics, you're like, all right, bro. Like I'm gonna stay away.
I'm gonna say one thing though. A lot of recent JRPGs which try to go for that sort of style, they also look quite generic. They look like they literally look like they're made by the same studio that makes those shitty Namco games.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
The same development story. I think that's what your issue is. It's like you're like, okay, look, it's generic RPG. Oh my god, it literally looks like one of those other crappy RPGs.
And that's why I'm saying I think I may have to blame Bandai Namco for that. Because again, I like anime graphics. I like that, but I'm like, oh, the gameplay is not going to be good. You know. Oh my god! All right, anybody else want to jump into this? Would you not play a game from a company based on ethical issues?
No, because they're all bad. All companies have issues. That's why we have HR departments. Because there's always some fucked up shit going on somewhere. There's always going to be a prick. Yeah, there's always going to be something. That's just the way it is. Like in school,
there we go.
Here we go. Yeah, absolutely.
If you go to school, there's always going to be a fucking bully. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm going to say this real quick. I saw Bungie. They made this multi-thread fucking tweet about how ethical they are. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you got fucking skulls in your closet too, bro. Every company does.
Yeah, they forget about the horror stories from the development of their own title. Fucking what was that? What was the recent game? What is that game that they're playing now? What is
Destiny?
It? Destiny. That they forgot about the horror stories of that Destiny.
Hey, Carlos, my man.
About the original Destiny development on that original Destiny game. There you go.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're literally maybe now they're about all of that, but back in the day they were doing some pretty shady shit. There's a reason why a lot of those old Bungie people ain't at that company anymore.
You know. And by the way, just remember, Destiny's not an old game.
No,
so this is recent shit. So these guys talking all that smack. I'm like, all right, bro, you're talking about like 5 years ago.
No, they're doing one of these things. Like, oh, well, we're not the problem. Yeah, maybe now you weren't, but back then you were doing some pretty crappy things. And there's a reason why Destiny came out in the shape that it did. And the only reason why it did, you're lucky as fuck that game did as well as it did to initiate a sequel.
You know,
but you're still owned by China. Oh. So you're still so yeah. How about that one? Maybe if somebody said free Hong Kong or something like that in there, maybe they'll get banned.
Yeah,
Because
or Taiwan is a country.
Or Taiwan is a country.
Or stop mistreating the Uyghurs.
Maybe stop deporting Africans.
Yeah.
How about that? Maybe he said something a little bit about like that. Maybe you'll get banned from them because they're also partially owned by the evil empire. By the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's right. Weren't they trying to blame the COVID on the Africans that were living in their country? All right. Yeah. All right.
So here's the thing. There is nothing out there that isn't marred by some fucked up portion of it. It's just some of them you see easier than others.
Yeah, that's it.
Because what they were talking about, that happened years ago, right? It wasn't recent, and it just came out. That thing with the worker.
The what?
They knew about it. They said that was cleared up, and that was a few years ago.
Which one?
The Activision worker that died.
Oh yeah, that was years ago. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So look how long it took for something like that to come out. It's like because shit's always going on. There's always some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Go ahead, Brian.
Just add a bit more to it. If we actually did that and we boycotted all the companies that do anything that's unethical, then we wouldn't buy anything.
We wouldn't. We'd have to live in the woods.
Some sort of dirt. Yeah. Like every company's got some sort of dirt somewhere. Like there's no company that's 100% clean. Like
as much as they would like to claim that they're all dirty as hell.
Yep.
Extremely. Yeah. Like even if just take like a realistic approach to things. Okay, we'll have to boycott BP and all the oil companies because they're scummy as fuck. We have to boycott all the banks because all the banks are disgusting in what they did in 2008 and around that time frame. So no finance, no oil. Companies, you have you have VW like faking the thingy tests so that they like
their mileage and all that.
And lying to the face and saying, hey, you know what, everything's fine. We'll have to boycott Amazon because they're just trash and how they treat their employees. So no oil, no finance, no Amazon. You only have like the mom and pop stores, and that's it at this point. Like
mom and pops underpaying their workers. There's always
and then where do the mom and pop stores get most of their products? They don't make those things.
No. Yeah. They're always selling refurbs as new. Come on. They all do.
Yeah, so
again, as someone said, like everything comes from China, and you you can't buy anything from Apple because we all know that their devices are not made in any type of ethical way. Like when you have to install anti-suicide nets to catch employees from throwing themselves off the building, rather than fixing the problem.
Yes. That's a problem.
That's an instant problem in my books. So no Apple.
By the way, the same factory that makes PlayStations and Xbox.
Foxconn, man.
There you go.
It's just you're living in a world where it's no Apple, no Amazon, no Chase, no fucking CD Projekt Red, none of that.
No video games. You're pretty much gonna be living in a little shack somewhere, and the only time that you can guarantee that you know where everything has come from and it's all fine is your little shack somewhere. But even then, you still need to kill some animals to eat.
And you gotta make your own clothes because you can't buy clothes because those clothes are from China too.
Well, you can't buy those clothes, or and if you want to buy the Made in American ones, hey, by the way, those are underpaid Mexican workers that are making those Made in American shirts. So
everything's fucked up. So again, you could go on social media and grandstand. I'm not gonna buy this. I'm not gonna buy it. Know that whatever device you're tweeting from is made under fucked up conditions. So if you're gonna be about that life, boycott everything. Go live in the woods. Then you could be about that life.
Build your own cabin.
That's it. All right, man. Let's move on. Oh, go ahead, Brian. Last word.
Like what I was saying is like, look, I have no problem if you want to boycott companies for being unethical. Just be consistent.
Yes. Be about that life, man. I'm with you 100%, man. Be about that life.
Personally, like companies are all unethical. We just have to live with it. Unfortunately, I don't have Superman powers and I can't hold the world to account. But then that's not a good thing anyway. But anyway, I can't do that. So I just have to live there. But if you want to do your thing, then be consistent. That's all I am.
And what people should just do instead of boycotting, then just bring the attention to whoever is the bad apples and try to get them out. Don't blame everybody on the bus.
What, to Congress?
That's it. So,
those motherfuckers.
Have them lie in front of a bunch of liars.
All of them. Well, fucking Two-Face. Say one thing one week, next week say some fucking else.
Yeah, well, we're not getting. I was about to go on a rant. Let's get off this topic.
But enough about Jim Ryan.
Yeah, you know. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're moving on. 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 All right. Next question here is also from Logic Wins, who's been with us all night, man. So shout out to you, brother. You know. All right.
Thanks, Mr. Logic.
Yes. All right. It was recently revealed that 10 Ubisoft studios are collaborating to develop Far Cry 6. What are the pros and cons of this method of development, particularly with regards to crunch and creating a cohesive product? Manny may have some unique insight into this, as he needs to collaborate with others when creating art for comics. So we talked about this before. Like, you have these 800 people, for example. I'm not even exaggerating, creating one fucking game. You know.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the only big difference between this and a lot of other companies is that Ubisoft actually has all of these different branches underneath the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of companies, you know, if you remember that Blue Box company?
No, those guys. Hassan.
The Blue Box company actually pointed to another company that says that they're assisting them to develop this game. Now, the thing about it is that company makes assets for other games.
Yeah.
So they're not owned by Sony. They're their own company, but yet they have all these listings of things that games that they worked on. They worked on Death Stranding. They worked on Last of Us. They worked making assets for it. So officially, all these different, like, if you talk about 800 people like that, a lot of times that's sort of the way they're already sort of farming things out already to make these insanely huge games. It's not always it's not solely the internal company that's doing all of this work. So, you know, they'll hand off a lot of stuff like, as I remember, there was a company that developed the ship portion of Assassin's Creed, right? And they're doing Skull and Bones, right?
Yeah,
we talked about that. I think that's what they're doing with this sort of game, where they're essentially handing off different portions of it and pulling together. And they've been doing this for years, even back all the way to the Assassin's Creed Revelations, which that game was made by like a couple of different, not the main Ubisoft Assassin's Creed team, but these other splinter ones from other countries.
Yeah. I'll just give some of the generic stuff. Like, the pros are that when you have a team that big, you can have people specializing in specific things. And, you know, under the best circumstances, because things happen, you can get a game out faster because you have such a large team. Obviously, the cons is you have to coordinate with so many people. Some things may get lost in the shuffle. Some teams may not coordinate with. Some teams may not even speak the same language. We've heard about that. You know, so there's pros and cons to it all. Like, not every game could be like Death's Door, where it's like literally two dudes made that game, you know? You could have, and that's the thing. When you have a game made by so many studios, it's hard to have a cohesive vision unless you have a really strong director behind it, right?
Exactly.
It could just, like Chris says, like Applebee's, just everything's on the menu, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
part of the reason why you split up, especially when it comes to comic books and, you know, and from a little bit of game development, the reason why you do that sort of thing is so you spread out the works so that you're not killing your main workers on this thing. So yeah, you throw somebody on assets, you throw somebody on AI, you throw all these different departments onto different things to sort of try to create a game, create this thing a lot faster, a larger assembly line.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's basically what it's, assembly line gaming, you know? Anybody else want to jump in on this, pros and cons? We've already kind of covered this stuff in the past.
Yeah, you guys bring up all the important points. The fact that, you know, you need really good management in order to have a lot of people work, because, you know, you'll have you know, some teams that are behind others. There could be bottlenecks, but, you know, at the end of the day, if you have a lot of people and they work, you know, good together, and then someone's managing a lot of people managing them correctly, you know, the QA team, the development team, all of them, then it's to the benefit of the game because it gets finished quicker, it gets tested better. It's just a lot of things that can make the game better by having a bigger scale team.
Yeah,
think how amazing it is that these big games even come out. Like the Assassin's Creed open worlds or the Grand Theft Autos, because there's so many hands involved, so many different moving parts, and for someone to work in the programmers to then compile all of that together to get it to work. And if there's just some bugs, it should be expected because it's so massive. It should still be praised that we even get these type of games. Because I know when we were all growing up, if we were to say to our younger selves, hey, look at the type of shit you're going to be playing from this Mario Brothers stuff. Look how things are going to expand out. It would blow my mind. And so we just got to appreciate it. And yeah, it's a lot of work, but I think it's a good method of using more people because if it's just two people that you want to talk about smaller groups, there's your crunch. Small groups, they're working around the clock. Something breaks, it's up to that small group. As a larger group, something falls apart, you got another group that can pick up the slack, another group to work on it.
Yeah.
Call so-and-so. So it works in their favor. So yeah, more power to them. They got the staff and the talent to do it, then do it.
Yeah, real quick, because Logic Win said that he was concerned about Far Cry 6 when he heard that there's this many development studios. You gotta understand, this is the way Ubisoft has operated for years.
All their other games are like that. Yeah.
Every single game, like Far Cry 6 is not a unique thing. It's just the way every other game is, I'm pretty sure there's a good 1,000 people working on that, just like every other one of their games. So nothing really to be concerned about. It's just standard practice.
That's the sort of thing that you have to do to essentially get how you have to do to essentially achieve the demands of the public. You have to throw more people onto because people want bigger and better and all this sort of stuff, and that's the price. You got to throw more people on it to get that sort of thing, and you have to get it in on time.
Yep.
Because you'll see it at the beginning. At least with Rockstar, they'll say Rockstar New York, Rockstar San Diego. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Those Rockstar has thousands of people.
That's what I'm saying. They got all those groups. So next time you play a game, before you start skipping, just watch all those little intros, and you'll see all those other studios.
Yeah. Think about it like this. Right? This is
if you state the credits.
Yeah, this has been a kind of running joke with Ubisoft. It's like, when you beat a Ubisoft game, you're gonna be sitting there for 20 minutes watching credits. It's again nothing new with Far Cry 6. It's just standard operating practice there.
Yeah.
All right, man. Move on here. We don't need to say too much more about that.
Make this. If you want them to have less people, you probably have to make the game smaller. It has to go back to the size of the original Far Cry.
The thing is, you don't need to have less people. Just make the games good. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on here. Last two questions. Fergus Mills, the savior.
Mr. Mills. Shout out to Fergus Mills, man.
All right. First question. Simple one, or it could be difficult. We shall see. What games have the best battle music or battle themes?
With games, I mean,
like for example, like Final Fantasy. Like Manny, you said in Final Fantasy 13, that fucking battle music was really good.
All the Final Fantasy games have really good battle music.
Yeah.
One Winged Angel is one of the best.
Oh yeah, it's Final Fantasies.
Oh, God.
Well, that's like the end of the game after having to listen to
that one's good too.
And that's the boss music, and then there's the main one.
Yes.
Kind of like the one too.
So battle music, or is that like? Are you saying
like a battle theme?
Yeah, just like a fight scene, or just the game itself, just bringing that intensity to a battle.
I think he means like a scene.
Because it's all fighting. There is no real boss. It's just all constant fighting, and it's got that. It just keeps pumping you.
Yeah, so I don't know if that one has a battle theme because it's all just fucking battle.
Yeah, it's all so it just gets you pumped. Throughout the entire time, to get you through it.
Yeah, Persona 5. There you go.
Oh no.
Persona 4 had a good one too. JRPGs in general have some good ones.
I guess Halo doesn't really count as.
No, I don't count. No. Like I think of battle music, I think about like boss encounters or like JRPG turn-based fights or whatever. You know,
or you could say, you know, like in the Souls games, because remember, all the Souls games don't have music until you actually fight the bosses.
Brian, I got you, bro. Monster Hunter World, those have battle themes. They do. You know.
Yes, they do.
Well, there you go.
It's a shame that I can't currently hear the Battlefield one, because that's what I'm fighting at the moment.
Oh.
Yes, Ryan's fighting monsters while podcasting. So that's how Brian does things.
Yeah, I find it funny that Brian probably already surpassed all of us.
Oh, he did. He did.
Oh, yeah, I did.
He lapped us like we were there for in totality for like 4 years, and Brian just in a couple months.
Brian in like 3 months.
You know.
Well, I'm not playing anything else, so
there you go.
And he's not reading.
See, I can't say Metal Gear because those aren't really battle themes, you know.
Well, you're fighting a Metal Gear.
They actually do have battle themes. You remember when you alert the guards, you know. Dun, dun,
oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, but and some of the bosses do have.
Some of the bosses.
Yeah, they have bosses.
Yeah, the first Metal Gear did have more, you know, like very distinct music, you know.
Well, yeah, like every level in the original Metal Gear Solid had music in it.
Yeah,
and then there's the escaping battle music, which would change situationally on alert modes, and then the boss ones.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid one.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid has great music. I was gonna say a battle theme that I think of is like when you fight the Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah,
like the world is quiet until you get near them. Right? Yeah.
Be good too.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the music doesn't play till you stab them, right? Till you attack them, right? It's quiet. Like even if you go near them, right?
Well, no, it has like
except the desert one.
It has two. It has two like modes. Like it has the sort of like like a when you initially go to them, it's sort of light. And then when you start to initially interact with it, that's when the music gets all
and that was really good. Yeah. Other than that, the world is like silent.
Yeah, it's all quiet.
It's ambient noise. So those are good themes.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else battle themes? All right, we're out of battle themes, so we'll move on to the final question of the night.
You want to play some battle hymns?
Yes. All right. I feel like we may have answered this before, but I'm not sure. But I'll ask it and see what happens. If you could take a specific person in the games industry and promote them to CEO of any company, who would you pick and what company would they run?
Like that's a tough question.
Like known executives?
Yeah. No, I got it. I got one. Fucking promote Kevin Butler as CEO of Sony. Let's go. He said any person.
He's a great comedian.
I would take a real person like Shohei Yoshida and have him be head of Sony. I'm surprised.
Put him back.
Shohei Yoshida was never head of Sony.
Oh, it was Kaz Hirai, right?
It was Kaz Hirai. He was always working under somebody else. No, literally take somebody who was in the thick of it, who knows about the process of creating games, kind of like what they did with Nintendo.
Yeah, Iwata.
Iwata, a guy who was in the trenches for a long time.
I like that answer. Guess Shuhei, put him up there.
Shuhei Yoshida. And for Microsoft, let's see, since we're playing both sides, I would actually, let's say, who would be a good person?
By the way, this encompasses everything. We could be like, take Todd Howard and put him in charge of Sony Santa Monica. Like, we could do all these kinds of mix and matches.
You can literally switch, mix and match.
Yeah.
I would actually take somebody like a Gio Corsi and stick him there.
Ooh. I like that.
I would stick him there.
You know what I would do? I'd take Amy Hennig and put her in charge of Naughty Dog.
Get rid of Neil Druckmann.
No.
Get rid of Neil Druckmann, right?
I don't understand why she would. I don't understand why she wasn't the head over there. But then again, maybe she wanted to continue to be part of the creative side.
From what I heard, she was pushed out by Mr. Druckmann.
Yeah, she was pushed out. I heard that too.
Mm-hmm. Well, Adam Boyce got him back at Sony.
Yeah, but I mean, To be honest, well, I would like to take all of those guys during the the PlayStation
4 era, yeah.
The PlayStation 4 era, and stick them right back to
Put
where
them
they
back.
were before.
Yeah.
To be honest, because they seem like they were doing a pretty good job.
Well, they did a great job,
Back when everything was out in Japan, but well, and I mean, as far as Nintendo, I mean, to be honest, like.
Yo, get Reggie back, man.
Get Reggie.
Doug Bowser is an absentee landlord.
He's a different type of CEO. He doesn't want to play up to his name.
He's just in the shadows.
He's like, actually, he is playing up to his name. He's in the background going,
just laughing. Yeah.
He's got a throne somewhere at the top of a Bowser castle.
Fire pit.
He's got a fire pit that sits in front of his throne, with an axe at the end.
All right. Anybody else? This is a tough question. I never think about this sort of stuff.
I don't
want
know.
somebody outside of it, though.
No, he wants somebody inside.
No, I don't. They're already corrupt. They've already been.
Everybody's corrupt.
Yeah, no, but I mean, corrupt in like the train of thought. You want someone out of the box. That's what they always say, right? Well, get somebody that's not from the industry and bring them in.
Nah, I want somebody in the industry.
Nah, you don't want that. Then you get Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want that.
It depends on what.
But that's Reggie too. But that's Reggie too, because remember he came from.
He did. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true. Yeah, he came from Guinness and.
Adam wants fucking Elon Musk to be running Activision or something.
No. I'd want like I don't know, it's for a studio, not so much of a big company. I'd get like Quentin Tarantino to run Naughty Dog, and to because of they have stories, but the stories need to be spoofed up, and he could add that edginess, but in not
remember, he's not being a creative; he's being a CEO.
That's what I'm saying. But he could still say yay or nay to shit. So, like, listen, this is what I want. This is how I do it. And if you don't do it, then you're out.
Yeah.
Put I don't know, Bob Iger as CEO of Activision.
Isn't that just as evil?
Well, not. Yeah, I mean, he's better at his job than Bobby Kotick is.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick. I'm telling you, at the end of all this Activision shit, no matter how it ends, that dude's still going to get his bonus at the end of the year. So.
Oh yeah, he's going to get his bonus. He got a bonus. He got a bonus already.
Yeah, he did. Get another one just because.
He's getting one right now.
Yeah,
they're probably. What's going to happen is he's something's going to happen, and he's going to get a bonus for making it go away. That's what's going to happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
This motherfucker doesn't have a gold parachute. He has like a platinum with diamond studded parachute.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's crazy, man. Yeah, there's a lot of those CEOs that are fucking him, Jim Ryan. We need to get those motherfuckers out.
Jim Ryan doesn't seem evil.
He's just incompetent.
I think he's just incompetent. Yeah.
I think
that's it.
Hip hop gamer. Who would you put him in charge of? Logic wins. Imagine a hip hop gamer running a company, man. That'd be pretty interesting.
It's only logic.
I mean,
it's only logical. It's going to be Sony.
I mean, he kind of already does run a company currently.
He does. Hip Hop Gamer Inc. Man.
Yep. So he does one already. But I mean, yeah.
And the most important thing there, Manny. He's no stranger to danger.
He is no
stranger to danger.
He is not a stranger to danger. We got to get hip hop back on. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. The cool thing about hip hop, he's down, man. There's never been a time where I said hip hop. Can you be on? They said, "Oh, he's like, let's go."
Somebody said they said you make Hip Hop Gamer the head of EA.
That actually kind of works. Hip Hop Gamer, he loves sports games.
I mean,
yeah. All right, man. I think we're done. We can't come up with any more shit. All right. Yeah, we're done for the now. So let's plug some stuff. Manny, what new books do you have?
Oh, what books do I have? Oh,
by the way, I gotta say there's shame on those people who Manny gave some books away to you motherfuckers, and you never even picked them.
You haven't even picked them up. So you know what's gonna happen on the next episode of Throwdown. Your books are gonna go to someone else. Because ELO has a zero tolerance program for people who don't pick up their prizes. So
there you go.
Anyway, here we go. This is Skybound X #4 coming out next week on Wednesday. So be sure to check out your local comic shop or on Comixology or on Skybound.com. has a story drawn by myself and Kari Randolph. So I'm pulling double duty. I'm not only drawing a portion of it, I'm also coloring all of it. So which is really cool.
Crazy.
And then on that,
that you draw any of them, right? You usually just do color work.
Yeah, for a lot of the comic, but a lot of the stuff in the comic industry, I mostly do color work. But for everything else, I do illustration. So I'm playing both sides. Like for stuff in the game industry, I've done I've drawn stuff and all kinds of other things like licensing and stuff. I've drawn the stuff, but yeah, for comics I do color work. Anyway, whatever you need to do to get money. And then also on the same day, well, not on the same day, on Tuesday, because DC ships their comics on Tuesdays as opposed to Wednesdays, is Static #2, which I don't have a copy of to show you here. Well, maybe I'll get my comps next week and we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, that'll be coming out on Tuesday. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And also, got a bunch of other things coming out from Marvel and DC. And then I also have some other future plans on things coming up soon. So keep an eye out for that.
Good stuff. Adam, is something coming back, man? Is something returning?
No, not yet. For the I Am Negan.
Oh, the nuke is here.
The Walking Dead podcast. That is coming. We got 2 more weeks. And then that'll come back. Or 3 more, right? August 15th. So I think that's like 3.
The 15th, that is 1, 2, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. 2.5 weeks. And then for the over at the Coalition, I'm got a few reviews I'm doing, but one of them is for The Ascent. Oh, that's pretty good. That's gonna be a good one.
I just got a message from someone who's playing it. He's like, "This is a cyberpunk game we deserve." Oh.
Yeah, it's got that cyberpunk feel meshed with a Diablo vibe and a very vast world. I mean, it was when I jumped in and I told Rich, I'm like, Rich, you need to play. Got him in, and he was like, "Holy shit, this is crazy!" I'm enjoying it.
What game is this?
The Ascent.
The Ascent. It's on Steam and on Xbox, and I think it's gonna be on Game Pass. I'm playing it on Steam, but
somebody send it to Keanu Reeves, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it'll be breathtaking.
It's definitely legit. It's definitely legit. It's a fun game, and I think it's up to 4 players co-op on it through the whole thing. So
yeah, so like that top angle sort of game.
It's like Diablo. It's that symmetric angle shape. Yeah, it's beautiful though. It's beautiful. The world is. Interesting. I'm still going through it, but yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Oh, it's isometric.
Yeah.
Tony, there's a genre Tony doesn't like.
Yeah. Tony's like, I don't know about that.
Here's the thing, I used to like those games, but then I got tired of them.
Man, all RPGs used to be isometric.
Kind of,
Yes.
Who's making all that noise
isometric?
I don't know. I hear it too. But it's So I'm working on that. That should be up by Thursday because that embargo lifts on it. But that's it. Yeah, and of course, I Am Negan. People, man, Walking Dead. We're seeing our subs over on Spotify go up and iTunes. That people getting hyped. So if you're not sure about this is going to last season, if you're not caught up and you just want to skim through a rundown, go ahead. I Am Negan. You can find it on iTunes Coalition, and we have.
I think that's Brett making all that noise.
Somebody's doing it. It sounds like a dog grabbed the mic and it's just like.
I think that's what happened. Maybe Brett left his fucking headset. So the dog's going crazy.
Check that out. I Am Negan.
I Am Negan. There you go, man. All right. We're done here, people. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and hit us up on Discord. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show, and you can check out previous episodes on throwdownshow.com. If you're listening to us on YouTube or watching us on YouTube, because who wants to watch us on YouTube? But you can listen to us on YouTube. Hit like and subscribe and all that if you enjoyed this episode. And leave comments. We always like comments there. It's always very interesting, Links to everything, all the places where you can find us down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Batman Arkham Asylum still holds up in 2021.
Nice. Brett Burdock.
It's been real.
And Brian Monjoma.
Make sure to support your artists as they work incredibly hard for their art.
Yes, indeed. All right, people. We'll see you on Thursday. Later.
Laters.
This is